But I do want to start with this idea of the Insurrection Act and whether this is the moment that the Trump administration has been waiting for. Scott, you have been convinced that this is the time.
Yeah, they'd be well within their rights to do it. I mean, you've got a governor of Minnesota who has said out loud that he believes they exist in a state of occupation of the federal government. You've got people going off to trainings, training how to fight federal agents. You've got massive amounts of money flowing into these groups to fund this stuff. And you have a bunch of elected officials in Minnesota who seem to believe that federal laws do not apply there. And you have massive unrest and massive disorder in the streets. And just last night, a ICE agent was trying to arrest a Venezuelan national, and two other Venezuelan nationals, all illegal immigrants, came out and tried to beat him to death with a shovel, which has apparently enraged everyone in Minnesota. They have a lot of problems there, and if Trump decided to do it, I think he'd be well within his rights to do so.
Well within his rights. Well within his rights. What's up, everybody? Happy to see you here tonight. I'm so glad everyone's here. Yes, so glad everyone's here tonight. All the people that decided to show up, including Jim, to tell you the news. Let's see who's here tonight. We have Snarf, of course. Snarf's here. What the F's here. Great to see you both. Jay Schwartz is here. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to you too. Terry, what's up? Great to see you. Sunshine. Wonderful to have you here, Sunshine. Always a good time when the sunshine is shining. Jay Marco's here. What's up? Hey, what's up? Dan Gagex, how you doing? None of your business is here. Rachel Boone, hello. Great to see you. Catherine K's also here. Awesome, awesome. Terry's here. Great, great. And then, Catherine K, Terry, Pat Hacker. Oh, Michelle's here. What's up? And Pat Hacker. Lisa Day's here. What's up? All right. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good. How about you? So we got some good stories to talk about, a bunch of stuff we're going to get into. Just want to say, first, when we get started, I'm happy everyone's here. It's always a pleasure. We'll see how long the show goes tonight. Hopefully it'll be a few hours. See what happens. All right. As usual, there is a goal, as there is every night. And the way the goal works on the show, if you're new to the channel, is all donations that come in, all tips, donations, whatever you want to call them, that come in across all platforms, Rumble Rants, YouTube Super Chats, gifted memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, you name it, Locals Coins, or, becoming a member, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, Super Tips, you name it. I add it all up, and when we hit $100 in total, we add an extra hour to the show. And then for every 100 that comes in, we add another extra hour, so the show could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6, 8, 10, 12, you name it, as long as you want it to be. And then as an added bonus, when we hit the first 50, we add Bella Vision to the show, which there she is. She's a little off kilter today, so I'm going to have to fix that real quick. But So that's the Bellavision. That's how she looks over there, chilling, hanging half off the bed. Unless an individual donation of $25 or greater comes in, and that could be like 5 gifted memberships or a $25 super chat or greater, then we would immediately activate Bellavision for the evening. All right. So let's go. And I forgot to do a goal tonight. I have to put it in. I am sorry. This is going to take a second. I forgot to do it on YouTube, and I screwed it all up. So this will take me a second to get this done. I forgot. I slacked off. I normally start it before the show. That way it's a running total type of thing. But I didn't do it. So there we go. I just started a goal on YouTube. All right. So there it is. Whew. Glad I got that straightened out. So let's get into the first story of the evening. And let everybody know where we're going. So here, check this out. So it says, no American wants these criminal illegal aliens as neighbors. These are the criminals that Governor Walz and Mayor Frey are protecting. The worst of the worst arrested by ICE.gov yesterday during Operation Metro Surge. Hey, what's up, Harold Hamilton? Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
And Brett, just moments ago, DHS released yet another worst of the worst list of criminal illegal aliens arrested by ICE right here in Minneapolis yesterday alone. They include a convicted murderer from Vietnam, a man from the Marshall Islands with 24 separate criminal convictions, and multiple convicted drug traffickers. We'll send it back to you.
Wow. Multiple convicted drug traffickers. What do you know? Let's see here. So, Han Quoc Thai, a criminal legal alien from Vietnam convicted of murder. Oh, what do you know? Pedro Lopez Brito, a criminal legal alien from Guatemala convicted of assault with intent to inflict serious injury and possession of drugs and previously charged with aggravated battery. Yadrian Lava, a criminal legal alien from Cuba, convicted of larceny, forgery, identity theft, possession of tools for forgery, counterfeiting, and transporting tools for forgery, counterfeiting. Eddie Zolares, a criminal legal alien from Venezuela, convicted of conspiracy possessed with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine while on board a vessel. Oh, a vessel, 5 kilograms, 5 birds or more. Hugo Ricardo Vicente Chebe, criminal legal alien from Guatemala, convicted of domestic violence. Luis Angel Marquez Leal, criminal legal alien from Mexico, convicted of disorderly conduct and previously charged with possession of narcotics equipment, possession of a weapon, and possession of cocaine. Martinez Dawid Kuneki, criminal legal alien from South Africa, convicted of violating a court-ordered restraining order, and with previous charges including domestic violence, assault, possession of methamphetamine, and driving under the influence of liquor. Oh, wow. That's a South African. What do you know? Marlon Levia Oriana, a criminal legal alien from Honduras, convicted of property damage and 3 counts of driving under the influence, previously charged with conspiracy to commit robbery, kidnapping, robbery with a deadly weapon. Wow. So the list just keeps going on and on and on. Jose Daniel Valdez Garcia, criminal legal alien from Mexico, charged with fraud. Another one, Ortega, violation of a court order, previously charged with assault. Inoet Pedro Demutero, criminal legal alien from Romania, charged with grand theft and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. See, it's not all people of Hispanic origin. And Brian Anjane, criminal legal alien from Marshall Islands, 24 convictions. 24 convictions. And these are the criminals that left brought over and open borders to topple us, just like London. Yeah, but you got people in the in the government saying that they're not arresting any criminals. Ilhan Omar said that she doesn't know of any criminals, people with convicted criminals or anything like that ICE is picking up. She doesn't know of any. And it's like, she's been releasing, they're releasing lists every day. Rachel Boone says, I'm up tonight. Seems I failed my eldest grandson. He thinks ICE is killing kids and just murdered that retarded woman. You know, he's been brainwashed, unfortunately. It's going to take, you're upset. Yeah, he's been brainwashed. Unfortunately, it's going to take some time to deprogram him. You're going to have to just keep trying, just use, common sense and reason. Another upstanding immigrant. Yeah. He'd kill you a long time. Yeah. Such skilled labor. Yes, they're bringing all the skilled labor in. I wonder which screaming Looney Tune would allow any of these guys to stay in their house. Hey, what's up, NASCAR Mo? What's up, man? Good evening, Jim and friends. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So great. So let's see here. We got the breaking news here. DHS agents just commandeered a pickup truck from leftist agitators outside of ICE's Minneapolis facility. I believe it's called the Whipple facility. I don't know. After he attempted to block the driveway, he's now in a jail cell. DHS is not messing around. They said screwing around, but yeah. Minnesota seems to love their type. They do.
Take the flag off! You fucks! Where are you going to suck each other's fucking dicks?
Oh my God. This guy sounds like a homophobe.
You guys aren't stealing his truck, are you?
Yes, they're stealing it. They're road pirates.
I don't think you need 20 guys to park this truck, but hey, seriously. What are you guys doing? What are you fucking doing? Go back to your fucking homes. Go back to your fucking shithole. What fucking shithole are you in? Go back to your fucking Go back to your shithole. Hey, go back to your shithole.
Oh my God, he just called him. Oh my God, wait, don't they know that you're not supposed to say that stuff? That's like, the left will cancel it. Why isn't the left canceling him? He's just called him the H word. He called him an HOMO, which is short for a word. It's not like, you're not supposed to say that to people. That's like hate speech and stuff, according to the left. What are they doing? Oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. They're breaking all the rules. Breaking all the rules. Yes. Rachel says, don't buy any JBS brand meats if you can avoid it. The company is sick. Yes. That's a nice truck, too. Too bad that they'll still have to make the payments while it's in federal possession. Hey, Margie's here. What's up, Margie? Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Man, all these homophobic slurs coming from the crowd of leftists. Wow. How dare you?
Careful, guys. They're like pushing old people over.
Wow, that's just crazy, isn't it? That's just nuts. That's just nuts. The next sorter says, Dear Mr. President, as a reporter who's been on the front lines of the Minnesota uprising since the moment it started almost 10 days ago, I can confirm that Governor Walz did not heed your warning to quell the riots attacking ICE agents today. Once again, state and local authorities refused to respond to calls for help, and they allowed agents to be assaulted in the streets, traps to be set by rioters to make agents slip and fall outside the building, and they allowed the roads to be blocked again. They prevented law enforcement from enforcing federal laws. It's time to invoke the Insurrection Act. You gave Walz and the rioters your legally required notice to disperse. They ignored you. Next time, the next step is sending in the troops. God bless you, sir. God bless the men and women of ICE. God bless the United States of America. I am not a crook. Margie says, I'm a little late tonight. Good to see you all. Well, you're not that late. Don't worry about it. We're just getting started. Huh. Look at that. Yeah. Border hook. Yeah. President Trump said, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law, yes, it's time for the Insurrection Act. Let's use bait cars. Yes, let's do it. There's another update. As these rioters have zero respect for law enforcement, since this post I made, the fire has been lit, extinguished, and relit twice. It's a game of cat and mouse. They don't fear arrest. Great job, Walsh and Frey. Losers. Losers.
Oh, that's for the fires. Watch out! Are you talking ice or what?
Ice or what?
Over here behind you.
They should be ashamed of themselves starting fires. Don't they know the damage that can do to the environment with climate change and everything?
You don't know what you're doing.
Imagine being a bitch in the federal government. That's crazy.
The guy who initiated to make a fire actually drives some of the smaller stuff. It's so beautiful. I know, right? Okay, I don't know.
I would imagine that there's state laws in Minnesota about starting fires in incorporated areas like this. It's probably against the law there to start fires on, public property like this. I would imagine that they probably won't let you burn your leaves or anything like that either in Minnesota, I would imagine. Yes, they're such refined observers, aren't they? Yeah, it's almost time. The demon rats are good at PR, but will the truth prevail? They look cold there. Some napalm should warm them up a little. Probably. Napalm has been known to warm people up down to the bone. Or maybe some white phosphorus. Yeah, Willie Pete will do the job too. That'll penetrate all the way down to the bone. Are they too dumb to know that their protesting is making things worse? Pam Graham, I don't know, but it's so great to see you. And you too, Cannibalistic Wizards, great to see you. Boycott everything Minnesota forever. Yes. I think I would stay where it's warm. Me too, Steve Hilliard. Me too. Great to see you tonight. How about following all these professional riders back to their hotels and doxing all of them? It could happen. When I hear those tom-toms, all I can think is a crazy Indian and Nick Sandman. Yes. Hey, Charvon, what's up? Great to see you. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening. Yes. What do you get when you won't discipline your children? A demon rat. Mm-hmm. If Walz and Wacky, Lieutenant Governor, go to jail, the Speaker of the Minnesota House is a Republican. Okay. Hey, Sanglank. Yeah, especially on asphalt. Yeah, what's up? Great to see you, Sanglank. What? Minnesotans following laws? Surely you jest. We'll see. Jacob Wayne is here. LAPD is banned from using non-lethal weapons to control violent protesters against ICE by the New York Post. What? So they have to use lethal weapons? What? That sounds pretty dumb. Have you talked about the Latin King gang member who stole the gun? They caught him. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it kind of yesterday on Joe's show. So Elmer Fraud, definitely. What's up? Great to see you, Woodtick Mike. The sheriffs come out again and put them out. Said if they relit them, they would be deemed unlawful assembly, and they left. 1 minute later, relit a third time, and they didn't. Basically, they're standing down. That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's all. I do have them. I got some better on the wall. I do. I found these in my closet. I was like, hey, shut it, die, motherfuckers!
Yeah, I would, like as Snarf says, hose them. Like, that's what I would get the fire hose out and use water to put it out. And if they get wet, hey, I guess you shouldn't be standing there starting fires. You wouldn't get wet. I mean, it would suck to get all wet and be out in that cold. It is the cold and flu season. Yeah, Sheriff's Department rolled up and put out the fires as it was deemed too unsafe for firefighters. Rioters put out one of the fires themselves to avoid having liquid from the fire extinguisher all over their fire pit as they want to start another fire when the deputies leave. It's a longer video.
Leave! Leave! I don't think it's gonna restart. I thought you were waiting for the fire. That's how Trump likes to come on children. Just like that. All these ice agents, that's what they dream of, just coming on children like that.
There's a lot of homophobic, pedophilic stuff from these people that are supposed to be the woke liberals, right? It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird?
History will remember you.
Jay Schwartz says, who supplied the gorgeous split wood for the fire? I would like to make a joke and say, like, oh, they bought it from the grocery store. They might have. But it is Minnesota, and there is probably a lot of fireplaces there, and people cut trees and stuff like that and use it. It's probably, it's probably normal up there. But yes, that is a Stripes reference. Definitely. Yeah, dyed water. How is it unsafe for the firefighters? Because it's a crowd. And whenever, what happened in the last riots in Minnesota when the firefighters showed up is they attacked the firefighters. They punctured the hoses and did all type of stuff. And actually, the firefighters would come up with the truck and they would just spray water all over everything and everybody. That's what I would do.
defending the people of Minnesota. Minnesota!
Wow. You're not even defending the people of Minnesota against these demon rats really want another civil war. They really want to try again since they lost last time to keep their slaves. They really want to keep this round of slaves. Boy, they're going to fight, aren't they?
Of course, how are you? The Zionists are all fucking intelligence right now.
Zionists. Oh my God. So, oh, look at that. So it's the Zionists now. So it's the Jews. Wow. Tell you what, scratch a fucking leftist and you find a legit Nazi that hates Jews. It's crazy. Yes. Jay Schwartz says, I escaped from Minnesota 5 years ago. Even in Minnesota with plenty of trees, you need to purchase that wood. What, they won't let you chop down your own trees? Water would be very effective. It would. That's what they should. Yeah. Salty C says, bring it on. This old lady's ready. Get her done.
Let the fires spread and do it. How we doing?
Good. I think everybody is.
Oh, that fire looks unsafe. That can get out of control. Someone can get burned. Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
These Turkeys are hell guys. We don't get out of there. They did nothing, yo. We are all fucking assaulted.
Why are they wearing masks? Why are they wearing masks? I thought that only fascists wear masks. That's what they said, remember? Only fascists wear masks. They're all wearing masks. Weird. Huh. Hypocrisy. Is that Rush playing? I can't make it out, but it sounds like Geddy Lee singing. I don't know. We'll see. Why are they playing music like that? I think they're doing it just to purposely to copyright people that watch the video. Yeah, so, and then here it is. Leftist protesters are now setting up fires to keep warm. Yeah, so, more of his stuff. We're not going to watch it because here we go. Well, them logs ain't even split. Those logs aren't even split. Oh, they're using lighter fluid. Oh my God, they're using lighter fluid. Look at that. They're using chemicals. Those are carcinogen chemicals right there. Look at that. Wow, what's wrong with them? Don't they know that that's harmful to people who's breathing in those chemicals that can cause cancer? Wow, polluting the environment. Wow. Wow. Woo. That's crazy. That's just crazy. That's nuts.
Now that's what I can feel.
Make sure we get it going. I can feel my hands again.
Not Rush trying to figure it out. Yeah, it sounded like Getty, but then it didn't. So You saw Florida plates on the protesting vehicles if they incite riots while crossing state lines. Can't they get into trouble for that? Yeah, it's a federal crime, cross state lines to riot. She was in Maryland, raped and murdered in September by an illegal immigrant. Oh my God. Marty's talking about right there about Dakara Thompson. I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't even heard nothing about it.
Let's get out of here.
They're adding to global warming. Yeah, what are they doing? Don't they know? Don't they know that they're supposed to be opposed to that? Anyway, I don't know. So yeah, so that's what's going on there. They're relighting them. These rioters are dumb. Yeah. So here's a news story about it because it's continuing. It doesn't seem. Yes, lighter fluid. Yeah, it's so bad for the environment. Yeah, like those are like very carcinogenic. They cause cancer. Yeah, cause cancer. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Demonstrators continue to rally as freezing weather comes howling back to Minneapolis. Rioters, quest for the crazy spray. How dare them? Yes. Rioters continue to gather outside the federal building to impose, impede, and hinder federal law enforcement. And they're steadfast in their opposition to any immigration enforcement, just as the mayor and the governor are being investigated by the Justice Department for possible obstruction of federal law enforcement. Ooh, this kind of spoils the story that's coming up next. Oops. Kim Waltz did not confirm the investigation to CNN. Well, how would Tim Waltz confirm the investigation? But he accused the federal government of weaponizing the justice system and threatening political opponents. Oh. While Jacob Frey says that he will not be intimidated. State and local leaders have urged the community to remain calm. Remain calm amid the unrest and escalated earlier this week after an agent shot and wounded a Venezuelan national who was beating him with a shovel. Heated clashes could soon turn frigid as plunging temperatures and fierce winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour blast through the Twin Cities. By Friday evening, the wind chill will plummet to below 0 degrees and expected to stay that way until the middle of next week. There's not that many people there. They must be headed back to their 5-star hotels. I don't think there's any is there any 5-star hotels in Minnesota? Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe. From Saturday night into Sunday morning, the actual temperatures will drop below 0, with blustery winds ushering wind chills as low as -20. It's a winter vortex, so polar vortex. I wonder if Jussie Smollett's gonna get attacked at a subway and scream that they yelled MAGA country or something. Could be. How far can fluid fly? I don't know. Pretty far. I follow a lot of crime stuff, and I have never seen one story about it until tonight. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. What's up, Audra's here? Great to see you, Audra. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I must do research. Paintball stuff. Okay. Department of Homeland Security continues its presence in the city, saying 12 people were arrested in Minneapolis Thursday night. 12 anti-ICE agitators, rioters, were arrested for assaulting law enforcement. Well, assaulting law enforcement, that makes them rioters. It is a federal crime and a felony if you lay a finger on law enforcement or destroy federal property. Federal officers in tactical gear deployed tear gas and percussion grenades to try to disperse crowds near the Bishop Henry Whipple Federal Building on Thursday. Protests are expected to continue throughout the weekend despite the frigid temperatures. We belong here because we are Americans. Oh, okay. American citizens going about their daily business are getting tackled or detained due to their ethnicities. That's a lie. Lawmakers and local residents said at a field hearing hosted by several Demon Rat members of Congress. Minnesotans are being racially profiled on a mass level. According to all the paperwork, the vast majority are white. It says race white. So what are you talking about? You're saying they're just stopping all the white people? What you talk about, Willis? They're being kidnapped from our communities. Parents are seized in front of their children by masked federal agents. Well, sometimes criminals get arrested in front of their kids. I mean, I guess if you don't want to get arrested in front of your kids, stop breaking the law. After Trump called the smelly community garbage, some in the Minneapolis-St. Paul's area's 84,000 smelly Americans said that they are dealing with consequences, even though most are American citizens. Are they, though? Are they? My community, we are health workers, drivers, teachers, laborers, entrepreneurs, engineers. I don't think there's very many engineers in the smelly community. Public servants. Smelly American Jelani Hussein said, the executive director of CARE, Minnesota, CARE, the unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land terrorism investigation. What do you know? We belong here because we are Americans. I don't think you're Americans. I really don't. Tiberius says, get them all. That's what we voted for. That's right, man. That's right, Tiberius. God wills it, Tiberius. God wills it. Hey, Downtown DCAT says they're definitely demons if they can withstand those freezing conditions. Yeah. They're probably all hopped up on goofy juice. But a DHS spokesperson said immigration agents do not use racial profiling to make arrests. What makes someone a target for immigration enforcement is that they are illegally in the U.S., not their skin color, race, or ethnicity, the spokesperson said in an email to CNN on Thursday. Protected under the Fourth Amendment of the United States, DHS law enforcement uses reasonable suspicion to make arrests. There are no indiscriminate stops being made. Oh no, he labeled us a fitting label. In a news conference following the hearing, Minnesota Demon Rat Rep Kelly Morrison called for increased transparency from the Trump administration on the details of the mass detention effort. Well, here's the thing. They can't just be releasing all types of information that's private information. They can only release what's public information. That's how it works. If they released all the information, you guys would say, oh my God, they're tainting the jury pool. They're doing this, they're doing that. She urged residents to document federal agents' actions in the city, but avoid breaking the law or escalating interactions with law enforcement. As a federal immigration enforcement operation continues, here's what else to know. The Insurrection Act. Trump raised the prospect of invoking a law which would allow the deployment of U.S. troops to Minnesota. But I don't think there's any reason for that right now to use it, Trump told reporters on Friday. But if I need to do it, I'd use it. You need to do it. So just do it. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison asked the judge presiding over the lawsuit the state and the city filed against the administration to reconsider their request for a temporary restraining order, citing a White House social media post about invoking the Insurrection Act. Let a judge try to make a ruling about the Insurrection Act and watch the judge get arrested. Because that's the entire point of the Insurrection Act is anyone who's an insurrection, which that would mean the judge would be an insurrectionist, and arrest the judge. The legal director for the ACLU of Minnesota called Trump's Insurrection Act threats unnecessary, dangerous, and wrong. Oh, okay, yeah. They also filed a class action lawsuit against the federal government claiming immigration agents violated U.S. citizens' Fourth Amendment rights. How is CARE still in business? I don't know. They've been deemed terrorists all over the world. It says, I imagine I've out there driving around playing Pokemon Go, making an app so we can all play along. Oh, yeah. I imagine ice out there. Okay, ice out there. Oh, yeah, I got it. Ice out there. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Clashes continue. Federal officers deployed tear gas and percussion grenades to disperse a group of rioters at the Whipple Federal Building late Thursday. Loudspeakers warned demonstrators against blocking the building's driveway as some in the group kicked and threw items at exiting vehicles. Well, so they're rioters. They're throwing items at vehicles. They're kicking things. That's not a protest. That's not civil disobedience. Those are crimes. Some protesters were taken into custody. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commander Gregory Bovino told Fox News that CNN reached out to DHS for details. And on Friday, Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson urged protesters planning to demonstrate this weekend to stay safe and lawful. Julio Cesar Silis, a Venezuelan national, shot and injured by ICE on Wednesday after he resisted arrest and started to violently assault the agent, along with two other people. Homeland Security said two other Venezuelans were detained after they attacked the agent with a shovel and a broom after he was trying to arrest Sosa Silis. All three men are living in the U.S. illegally. So we have people that are here illegally and they're trying to beat cops. Yeah, they all have to go. More than a week has passed since ICE agent fatally shot domestic terrorist Renee Good. Her family's lawyers are demanding that all the evidence tied to her death. It's all on video. You've seen all the evidence. What are you talking about? You have the evidence. They want Good's car, cell phone video, dash cam video, communications between the agents be preserved as part of a civil investigation that could lead to a lawsuit. Go ahead and sue and see how it works out. The agent should sue her estate. That's what the agent should do. You know, like that FBI agent who Alex Jones never met, never mentioned or anything like that, was never on the scene of Sandy Hook, sued Alex Jones and got millions and millions of dollars because he said he suffered from PTSD over Alex Jones saying things. I think this ICE agent could suffer all the same stuff, should be suing all these news organizations, use the Alex Jones precedent and sue for PTSD that they're causing him. It's called discovery after they file. Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, I mean, they can issue a preservation letter, but they can't demand stuff be turned over now. That's not how it works. HJ Remy, what's up? Great to see you tonight. Awesome. An incident report and a 911 transcripts from Minneapolis officials illustrate the chaotic minutes after the tragedy and reveal new information on Good's multiple gunshot wounds. Twin Cities on alert. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche visited Minneapolis Friday as federal agents have surged into the city over the last several days. Federal agents pulled over 2 vans of students and staff on their way to school in St. Paul. In a separate instance this week, the school district spokesperson said, starting next week, students who do not feel comfortable coming to school can participate in remote virtual learning. But see how you just say that? Oh, they pulled over a van. Why did they pull over a van? What was going on from the van? Hey, Ank's here. What's up, Ank? I didn't notice that was you. I missed it. That was you that made that comment. Yeah. So, very interesting. You know, because the Constitution is clear. Congress writes immigration law. President Trump must enforce it. Governors and mayors can't obstruct federal agents. That's a serious federal crime. Tim Walz and Jacob Frey must back down. President Trump is offering an off-ramp. They should strongly consider taking it before this escalates. Escalates, not escalates. Thanks for having me, Ingram Angle.
And let's go to Mike on this. It's really language and words that lead to action on the part of the agitators on the ground. When you're telling them to film, to track, and calling this an invasion, Mike, that comes pretty close to incitement. And one would think you get text messages and you get emails, and the story might actually get a lot spicier for them.
Yeah, under the Constitution, our U.S. Congress writes our immigration laws on behalf of the American people. Congress decides who gets to come and who has to go, and the president has a constitutional duty to enforce those federal immigration laws. That is the supreme law of the land, and these local governors, these local mayors cannot interfere with federal immigration enforcement. That is not only is it assault on federal law enforcement, you're looking at insurrection and seditious conspiracy, along with harboring, conspiracy in general, and many other serious federal felonies when you are inciting people to commit violent acts to physically obstruct federal law enforcement. So I would say to Governor Walz and to Mayor Fry, you better back down or you're going to end up in federal prison.
Yeah, so there's a lot of movement here because on the one hand, you hear Walz and sometimes Fry say things like, you know, don't take the bait, don't give them the moment they want. And so they try to kind of say, be careful. Even Ilhan Omar today, you know, said, don't, you know, essentially don't throw things at agents. But then in the next breath, it's track, follow, invasion. You know, these are, you know, tactics of an authoritarian. So it's a bit of a murky legal analysis, but the investigation itself, again, I would imagine would elicit a lot more evidence if the government really wants to go this route.
Boy, she's really going out on a limb by saying don't throw things at agents. Wow, what a peacemaker she is. Look, people should listen to what Mike just said. A lot of this activity, take a look. I encourage everybody to take a look at Title 10 United States Code, Section 253. If Trump wanted to, if you look at the language of that statute, he could invoke the Insurrection Act. It would be a very, very controversial move. But certainly, if you look at the language of that statute, which talks about preventing any combination or conspiracy that obstructs the laws of the United States and enforcement of the laws of the United States, and the president gets to make that determination, it's not even completely clear whether or not that would be subject to judicial review. So in one sense, he's actually potentially diffusing the situation by just investigating 2 public servants for obstruction. People need to be need to be very careful. You know, President Trump is blessed by his enemies sometimes.
Yeah, and we're going to post the entire 10 USC 331 to 335 for people to read for themselves, and they'll see the statute's terms and why this certainly seems to a lot of people, given this sustained violence and interruption, interference with the lawful duties that these ICE agents are carrying out. Yeah. Man, I mean, it would seem to be kind of in many ways, you know, picture perfect for invoking the Insurrection Act. Yeah. Yet, Mike, President Trump today seemed to maybe signal that he was leaning against the Insurrection Act. Watch this.
It's been used a lot. And if I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it. But if I needed it, I'd use it. It's very powerful.
Those are the wrong numbers,
Mike, it hasn't been
Laura.
invoked in what?
I need to say.
Go ahead. What?
It's 251. It's 10 U.S.C. 251 through 255. Yep.
Got it. Sorry, I'm looking for the other parts of the authority. Go ahead. Mike.
I would say this to Governor Tim Walz and to Mayor Jacob Frey. President Trump is trying to give you an off-ramp here. You should take the off-ramp. We do not want to turn Minneapolis into Mogadishu. Let's not have another Black Hawk Down situation. Take the off-ramp and don't escalate this where President Trump has to invoke the Insurrection Act and has to nationalize, federalize the Minnesota National Guard or send in active duty troops to clean up the mess that Governor Walz and Mayor Frey have caused.
Wow. Yeah, does the governor, Q-Ed Waz, what's up? Great to see you tonight. Does the governor watch Fox News? I doubt it. Someone in his office probably does. Probably have someone that does it just for, like whatever they call it, like opposition research type of thing. And Margie says, wow, the chat still won't let me talk about shh. Okay. Good old-fashioned sarcasm. How is Victor David Hansen doing? Anyone hurt? I know he had surgery. It says he revealed a serious complication during cancer surgery. So, I don't know. That was a day ago, so I don't know. I don't know what else. He's recovering after lung cancer surgery. That's what I got. That's what I got. And, breaking news, Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Frey are now under criminal investigation by the Department of Justice for conspiracy to obstruct ICE operations, per CBS News. Let's go. Lock them up. Set an example. This comes just days after Walz encouraged people to impede ICE operations in the streets, with illegals attacking ICE agents with weapons shortly thereafter. Tim needs to go away for a long time.
ICE agents cannot conduct these activities. Can help. So carry your phone with you at all times. Help us establish a record. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. To peacefully help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans. So carry not just to establish a record for posterity. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. The third thing I want to say to you tonight is
this video's all jacked up. It's them. It's their.
ICE agents cannot conduct these activities. Can help. So carry your phone.
It's like all jacked up, like they screwed up the audio. It was like this the other night when we listened to it and they never fixed it. Where are they going so fast? Home. They all need to go home very fast. James O'Jimsy's here. What's up? Well, no schlit. What's up? Yes. Ding, 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 ding. QS. Ding, 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 ding. Says down count DCAT. Yes, that's right. Ding, 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 ding. Ding. Fries are done. Walz is a criminal enabler. And there he is. Look at him. Whoa. Yeah. It's official. Federal officials are now gathering signed affidavits from credible Minnesotan Tim Walz employees and preparing criminal referrals in the rampant fraud scandal. Woohoo! Never seen a pair other than Bill and Hillary that need to go to jail more. Yes. Elmer, Fraud, and Uberman. Yeah. 6 deep staters were just removed at the DOJ in Minnesota. Bring on the arrests.
So the big news that we got in the last 24 hours is that Tom Emmer, the number 3 member of the House, Republican leadership, he has confirmed on the record that congressional investigators are now have Minnesota state employees. We've known that there were these whistleblowers, these state legislators were talking to them. They've now become federal and congressional whistleblowers, and they're signing affidavits. And what Tom Emmer says is in the affidavits is people saying, I personally talked to the governor and his staff, Governor Tim Walz and his staff, and I told them about this fraud, told them it needed to be stopped, and they did nothing. They looked the other way. That is very significant. Now, Tom Emmer said, I think that's enough to bring criminal charges and to put the man in cuffs. Now, that is a very significant moment because Congress will take that testimony. It will make a criminal referral. And there is a U.S. attorney out in Minnesota, no glitz, no glamour, but they are rolling up indictments and they mean business. And it is very likely that Tim Walz will not only be hauled before Congress, but this evidence, if referred from Congress to the U.S. attorney and the Justice Department, could result in Tim Walz becoming a subject or a target of the investigation. That's certainly what Tom Emmer thinks. Meanwhile, we're seeing the flow of money. It wasn't just Minnesota. So last week we talked about this, Steve, $700 million in suitcases flies out of Minnesota, often headed to either Amsterdam or Amsterdam to Dubai. It was a foreign.
Wow, that's a lot of money. How do people stand the cold? I'm from Georgia and I hate the cold. It's cold as a well digger's butt right now. It's like 36 degrees. That's cold. I feel you, Marjorie. I do. Justice Department launches criminal investigation into Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for interfering with ICE operations. So it sounds like there's multiple tracks, as they call it, for this criminal investigation. You got the fraud angle. You got the obstruction angle. You got the sedition angle. Insurrection angle. Cannibalistic Wizard says, I love the cold, but I'm also obese. I didn't think that made a difference. Pat Hacker says, I am ready for spring already. It's 16 here. Oh, that's bad. The other Gagax. Dan says, Jim, you don't miss those Chicago winters? Let me tell you something. I don't miss the Chicago winters. I miss snow. Like, I will go up. I usually go up once during the winter, to visit relatives and to see snow and stuff like that. But no, I don't, I used to, work outside during the winter. When you're building buildings and stuff like that, you don't, that's outside. And it doesn't stop during the wintertime. Construction goes year round. I mean, we would put heaters and stuff in places and do things like that, but it still got cold. You get that lake effect, snow as they call it, and then that cold weather, you're up, 40, 50 stories in downtown Chicago, below zero. It gets rough. And yeah, I don't miss that for sure. 5 above feels like negative 14 here. Would take Mike. Hello, everybody. 80 here today, but windy. It was pretty chilly today here in Florida. I'm going to tell you. Right now, right now outside, I think it's in the 50s, which is cold for Florida. Merce, where are you? Says it was 79 today. Right now it's 66, unseasonably warm, even for California. Well, that was the thing. Like a lot of people, like in California, when I lived in San Jose, the weather in San Jose and like San Francisco, stuff like that, this time of year is like it's cold and rainy and it's dreary and gloomy, and it's not like you would expect for California. But then again, that's Northern California pretty much, like Central, whatever you want to call it. That's not like in Southern California. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Audra for 5 gifted Jim Tells You memberships. Let's see who got them. Cesium Cat received a gifted membership from Audra. So did Ben Togel. Verifier Z77 received a gifted membership from Audra. D. Humboldt and RJ Williams 88 also received gifted memberships from Audra. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Audra. And with that, activates the Bella Vision for the evening. Thank you so much, Audra, for the 5 gifted memberships. Yes. And so with that, folks, that means we are now just $70 away from the first additional hour of the show. Yes. Bella, thanks, Audra. Yes, definitely. Let me see. Do I need to correct the camera here in any way, shape, or form? Looks pretty good, I think. Right? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know why that doll always has to look like she's pooping it out. That looks good there. That looks good. All right, looks good. Got it. Good. Yes. Thanks, Audra. Thanks, Audra, and happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Audra. Yes. Today's my birthday, so why not get Bella on? Well, you know what that means. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Audra. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Happy birthday, Audra. Little old lady. Yes. Happy birthday, darling. Yep. Happy birthday, Audra. Way to go, Audra. You all are amazing. You're Audra. You're amazing. Happy birthday, Audra. And then we got James O. Jimbo became a YouTube member. Hey. Thank you, James O. Jimbo. It says, James O. Jimbo, welcome to Casual Listener. Well, thank you, James O. Jimbo, for becoming a casual listener. And with that, that means we are now, I believe, that puts us now to be $66 away from the first additional hour of the show. I don't even remember. Let's see here. No. I don't remember what those are. Yeah, okay. Yeah, $4 casual listener. All right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Thank you so much. Hearts to you too. You're welcome, Audra. So the Department of Justice has launched a criminal investigation into Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and far-left Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for interfering with ICE operations. According to CBS News, the investigation centers around public statements made by Walz and Frey. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche this week said he's focusing on Walz and Frey after riots erupted in Minnesota. Oh, Renee Collins is here too? Where? There she is. Hey, there's Renee Collins. Great to see you, Renee. I'm focused on stopping you from your terrorism, whatever it means by necessary. That's not a threat, it's a promise, Todd Blanche said earlier this week. So he's telling them they're terrorism. And ICE operations in thousands of counties operates in thousands of counties without incident. Men and women doing their jobs, protecting the American people from criminal aliens. Minnesota's insurrection is a direct result of a failed governor and a terrible mayor encouraging violence against law enforcement. It's disgusting. I'm told by 4 law enforcement sources there's been another ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis tonight. ICE officer was attacked with shovels and shots were fired. According to WAPO, the DOJ has issued subpoenas for Walz and Frey. Uh-oh. Better get Mako. Hey, it's what the F says. Hey, guys, give Jim a like. We're at 49 with 83 peeps in the chat. Wow. Just saying. Justice Department is investigating Minnesota officials, including Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, over an alleged conspiracy to impede federal immigration agents. An extraordinary escalation in the Trump administration's clash with demon rat leaders. Multiple sources familiar with the matter told CBS News. One of the sources in a U.S. official said the investigation stems from statements that Walz and Frey have made about the thousands of immigration and customs enforcement officers and Border Patrol agents deployed to Minneapolis region in recent weeks. Thousands of federal agents have been deployed to Minneapolis to arrest illegal alien criminals. Both Walz and Frey have lashed out at the Trump administration for dispatching ICE agents to Minnesota. Mayor Frey demanded residents and local police fight ICE agents in the streets. He did say that. He said he doesn't have the people want us to fight them in the streets, but we just don't have enough police officers to fight them in the streets. We're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street. Tim Walz this week, during a primetime address, urged Minnesotans to stalk, harass, and record ICE agents for future persecution. Marjorie says they tried to place both sides of it. It was so obvious. Call for peace for the clip and then call for more chaos. They both did it. Yep. Hey, Half Irish, great to see you. Thumbs up. No.
Fox News confirms the Justice Department is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for allegedly impeding law enforcement efforts on the ground. Again, confirming that DOJ investigation.
I thought it was Frey. I guess it's Frey.
Progressive Democrats, meantime, were in Minneapolis today, rallying around protesters, claiming the Trump administration is to blame for the chaos. The remarks from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Pramila Jayapal come after another night of disorder in Minneapolis. Congressional correspondent Bill Malugin has the story live from inside Minneapolis. Good evening, Bill.
Brett, good evening to you. We begin with some breaking news. You just mentioned it just moments ago. Multiple DOJ sources confirming to Fox News that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey are now both under federal investigation for allegedly interfering with immigration enforcement here in Minnesota. We are told that probe is early but ongoing. More on that for our viewers as we get it. In the meantime, despite a snowstorm out here in Minneapolis, it appears we are headed for yet another night of protests on the ground. You can see the crowd continues to grow here at the federal Whipple building here in Minneapolis. These federal agents aren't backing down, and the protesters say they aren't going anywhere either. Tensions and tear gas flaring in Minnesota as anti-ICE chaos boils over. Protesters taking out their anger on federal immigration agents and their vehicles outside of the federal building in Minneapolis Thursday night as the two sides squared off once again.
Almost there.
Oh, wow. The feds are cracking down on the lawlessness, arresting a man accused of being a part of this mob as they broke into and vandalized an FBI vehicle. Homeland Security charging Raul Gutierrez, who they say is a Latin Kings gang member, with stealing a rifle and body armor.
Minnesota, you are not alone, and we will stand up for real accountability, for justice, for all of you and for all of America.
As some progressives call to defund ICE, congressional Democrats held a field hearing in nearby St. Paul today. They point the finger at the Trump administration for the ongoing violence that intensified after an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good in what DHS calls self-defense.
It is increasingly clear that the entire purpose of these actions is to provoke chaos and fear in order to justify invoking the Insurrection Act and expand the president's ability to rain terror upon American cities who do not vote for him.
While President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, for now, he says he's not quite ready to send in the military.
I don't think there's any reason right now to use it, but if I needed it, I'd use it. It's very powerful.
And Brett, just moments ago, DHS released yet another worst of the worst list of criminal illegal aliens arrested by ICE right here in Minneapolis. Yesterday alone, they include a convicted murderer from Vietnam, a man from the Marshall Islands with 24 separate criminal convictions, and multiple convicted drug traffickers. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Maluchin, live in Minneapolis. Bill, thanks.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's it. It was just a video from Fox. All right. So CBS has more to the story. Let's see here. Half Irish says, I'd like to hear what local Leos think about ICE cleaning up their streets. It might be welcomed by those who wade through the poop day in, day out. Probably. Doc, what's up? Great to see you here, Doc. Says, send in the Marines. Renee Collins says, I shared you on Facebook and X. I don't have many followers, but it's the thought, you know. I really appreciate it. I do stream on X and Facebook. This is live on Facebook as we speak right now. It's on my regular Facebook page. Yeah, they probably would welcome the help. I think so, too. I don't like that snake lady, a little snake lady. Me neither, Hank. Yes, send in the Marines, says James Ojimbo. Yes. Come on, Trump. They looted a federal vehicle, freaking pussies. Yes, me neither, Hank. It's me neither. Oh, let's see what
the deployment of ICE and Border Patrol agents in the Twin Cities region. We, of course, know that the Trump administration has undertaken a massive immigration enforcement operation in that region of the country, sending upwards of 3,000 ICE and Border Patrol agents to that region to arrest people suspected of being in the country illegally, including some Somali immigrants, and also to investigate allegations of fraud in that region. That is the largest Department of Homeland Security investigation and immigration enforcement operation in the department's history. We are told, importantly, by one of the officials that the federal inquiry by the Justice Department specifically focuses on a provision of U.S. law that makes it a crime for two or more people to conspire, allegedly, to prevent federal officers from carrying out their official duties through force, intimidation, or threats. So this is a major escalation in the Trump administration's clash with local Democratic officials over immigration enforcement.
Yeah. Why is this still in a corner? Why can't I get rid of this video? What is going on here? DOJ investigating Tim Walz, Minneapolis mayor, over conspiracy to impede immigration. Justice Department investigating Minnesota officials, including Walz and Mayor Frey, over conspiracy to impede federal immigration agents. By saying it's an extraordinary escalation. No, it's extraordinary escalation was what they did. His head has 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. He should have let them destroy as much as they can before he invokes the Insurrection Act. Let the normies beg for the act. Yeah, just like they did in 2020, right? Don't forget to hit that like button. His head has 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. Justice Department spokesman declined the comment. Says obvious attempt to intimidate me for standing up for Minneapolis. The chaos that they brought to the street. Wow. It does me no good to share on Facebook. Nobody sees it since 2021. I used to get like 95 likes. Now I get like 2. Well, yeah, I don't know. My focus will remain keeping our city safe. If your focus was keeping the city safe, you would be helping the feds get the murderers, rapists, pedophiles, and other drug traffickers and stuff off the streets, which is what they're doing. Walson, 2 days ago, it was Alyssa Slotkin. Last week, it was Jerome Powell. Before that, Mark Kelly. Wow. He just named a list of a whole bunch of people. It sure sounds like it's a conspiracy. I wonder if he's been talking to those people. That would be great if he could get them all bound up in a conspiracy. Weaponizing the justice system and threatening political opponents is a dangerous authoritarian tactic. Didn't Waltz say in a video just like yesterday or the day before that they're collecting evidence to prosecute all these people, all the ICE agents and everybody, their political opponents? I mean, he did say that, right? Yeah. The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. They did investigate it, and they found that it was self-defense. They did the investigation. It was self-defense. That's how that works. You don't just keep investigating after you determine that no crime was committed. That would be fascistic. That would be totalitarianism. Nearly 3,000 federal immigration agents have been dispatched to Minneapolis with the stated objective of arresting people suspected of being in the U.S. illegally and probing allegations of fraud. No. They're there. They're going after criminal illegal aliens, people who already have a final order of removal. I mean, what? The large-scale presence of federal agents has triggered widespread local backlash. So they're admitting that it's an insurrection against federal agents. Huh. That's nice that you put it in there. You know, the presence of federal agents triggered widespread backlash. That ICE officer has over $1 million donated to his defense fund so far. It's not a defense fund. It's just a fund to help him with like bills and everything. Fry and Walls, both demon rats, have vocally denounced the federal deployment to the Twin Cities, accused the federal agents of creating chaos and undermining public safety through aggressive tactics. Earlier this week, Fry announced that the federal deployment had created a situation that was not sustainable. It's not sustainable for the Democrats because, you know, they're getting rid of all their voters. Yes, we're in a position right now where we are being asked to fight, to have our local police officers fight ICE in the streets. Rachel Boone says, that's where me and my grandson differ. I couldn't find the slow-mo video to prove him wrong. It just bothers me that he says there aren't illegals and used the Jesus was illegal trope. Well, Frey and Walls have called for the protests to remain peaceful. The governor urged Minnesotans not to fan the flames of chaos. Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote on X on Friday that it's a reminder to all those in Minnesota, no one is above the law. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche appeared to make a vague reference to the investigation, writing on X, Walls and Frey, I'm focusing on you stopping from your terrorism by whatever means necessary. This is not a threat. It's a promise. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem on Thursday said Mayor Frey and Walls have to get their city under control. They are encouraging the impeding and assault against our federal law enforcement, which is a federal crime, a felony. Noem has said the rhetoric from Walls and Frey perpetuated violence directed at federal officers, arguing their comments undermine public trust in law enforcement and embolden protesters on the ground. The federal inquiry is focused on federal statute 18 U.S.C. 372, one U.S. official told CBS News, which makes it a crime for two or more people to conspire to prevent federal officers from carrying out their official duties through force, intimidation, or threats. So to me, that would mean that everybody involved in the ICE Watch app and these ICE Watch things are all guilty of the same crime, a conspiracy. Doc says, sure, Blondie, sure. I'll believe it when I see the FBI swatting the looters of ICE vehicles like they did to the J6 participants. I think you were trying to say swatting. Maybe swarming is what you meant, but I changed it. The statute has historically been used in cases involving coordinated efforts to obstruct federal officials, including actions involving violence or threats. Okay. Have we seen violence? Yes, check. Have we seen threats? Yes, check. Threats by Walls? Oh, yeah. Threats by Fry? Yes. So, public criticism has historically been treated as protected speech unless involving direct coordination or incitement to obstruct law enforcement. We believe they are. Direct incitement, direct obstruction. And Reuters just has, U.S. Department probing Walls and other officials. When I say it like that the U.S. Department of Justice is probing Mayor Walls, I think he would enjoy the probing if it was like, aliens probing him. He looks like someone who would enjoy that. Just saying. This is from the local news. This is from the local news. Care 11.
To say I'm fired up about this one, guys, that would be the understatement of the century.
Kurt Warner is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2017.
Going into season 4 as captain of your Sens, Brady Tkachuk. Welcome to Locked On Senators.
One of the most famous Chargers of all time.
Big news, the Department of Justice investigating Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry for alleged obstruction of law enforcement, according to NBC. And our Joe McCoy is here now and following this latest news.
Yeah, Jennifer, well, according to NBC News, they say that the law at issue in this investigation is a rarely used federal statute with roots in the Civil War era. Both Walz and Fry taking to social media tonight, with Walz calling this a weaponization of the justice system.
In the latest escalation between the Trump administration and Minnesota leaders, the U.S. Department of Justice is now investigating both Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, according to multiple reports. NBC News reporting that the DOJ is investigating the two under the theory they conspired to impede federal immigration agents.
First of all, I'm disappointed.
Tom Heffelfinger is a former U.S. attorney for Minnesota who was appointed by 2 Republican presidents. In his opinion, the Department of Justice does not have a leg to stand on in the investigation, but he is not surprised they brought it forward.
President Trump claimed very publicly that retribution was coming on its way to those 2 men. That tells me that the president's the one who ordered this to happen.
For months, the U.S. Department of Justice has accused Walz and Fry of refusing to work with federal immigration authorities, leading, quote, dangerous criminals, in the DOJ's words, to be released onto the streets. A person familiar with this investigation told CNN that a grand jury has issued subpoenas for both men. However, Walz's office tells KARE 11 it had not received any notice as of Friday evening.
It's an incredible waste of time simply to make the president feel better that he's getting even with somebody that he has a political grudge against.
Governor Walz taking to X saying, quote, weaponizing the justice system against your opponents is an authoritarian tactic. The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. Mayor Fry saying, quote, I will not be intimidated. My focus will remain where it's always been, keeping our city safe.
The Justice Department declined to comment tonight on the investigation. Jennifer.
Certainly some unprecedented times, Joe. Thank you for that.
Oh, you think unprecedented
To say
times?
I'm fired up.
Think unprecedented times, huh? That's what you think, unprecedented times? That's what you think, unprecedented times, huh? You know, like when you got governors and mayors out there fighting with ICE, trying to step in and stop ICE from doing their job, interfering with federal law enforcement, because it's not just it's immigration, it's federal law. Federal law is federal law. So, you know, like Dan says here, 18 U.S.C. 372 was used against J6ers, so there's a recent history of its use. That's right. They said there was a conspiracy to subvert federal law, because that's what it is. Hey, Kansas Mima's here. Hi, Jim. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. William Nelson's here, too. He says, the fuck up gonna tell me. I'm gonna try. Sorry, I didn't know I was a fuck up. Tim Waltz would say that, wouldn't he, Mr. K? That's right. Good to see you, too, Mr. K. Great for there. Retribution for what? Exactly, you midwit. Yeah. What's the retribution for? Huh. If anything, Trump has been far too reserved in his retribution. I agree. Apex Comics is here. Hey, Jim, what's up? Great to see you, Apex Comics. Typical Democrat reply. They're all crooks. They've been for many, many years. Yeah. So they trot out this old crotchety dude who they say he was appointed twice by Republicans. Was he now? Is he a Republican? Is he an actual Republican, or is he one of those, National Review, Lincoln Project Republicans who are just Democrats that pretend to be Republicans, for the uniparty crap where they can have two teams fighting, over, the same language, but it's, they just call each other racist and all that shit. Yeah. Hey, KBT, what's up? Hi, all late again. KBT, great for you to be here. Yeah. Cut off all funding to every sanctuary city and state. Yes. Apex Comics says, obey the federal law or go to prison. That's the bottom line. That's the way the crookies crumble. Oh my God, I'm tired of the dictator authoritarian etc. talk. If President Trump was all those things, they'd already be under the jail. That's right. Under the jail. What's up, Gripper? Grip's here. Says it's worse for me the older I get. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Janet Hill's here too. Hello, Jim and Bella. Janet Hill, great to see you. Awesome. Yeah. And Audra, in every case, his actions have been ruled in his favor. That's right. That's right. Asia Boone says, Grip, I think the more my blood pressure stays high, so it doesn't bother me as much, I'm getting used to it. Well, yeah. It says, hey, KBT, got yourself ready before the freezing lows this weekend. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Well, not into this. It says, Trump says there's no reason right now to use the Insurrection Act in Minnesota. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would. If it was me, I would. Hey, Jay Liebgott's here, too. What's up, Jay Liebgott? Great to see you. I think with that, I think we now push past 100 people here on YouTube. Yes. Yeah, we did. We pushed past 100. That's great. That's grand. That's groovy. That's just grand and groovy. 100 people on YouTube. Yeah. Almost be ready for increased pollen counts, too. That's awesome. And we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes, so I just want to remind everybody that there is a goal tonight. We have about an hour left of the show unless we hit the goal to add an extra hour. We are currently right now $66 away from an extra hour on the show. So just keep that in mind if you want the show to go a little longer tonight. It's like tonight, it's 52 here with a good breeze. A couple of years ago, I'd have been freezing anything below 70 and I'd be bundled up. Now it feels good. Wow. Good to know. President Trump said on Friday, he told reporters that he doesn't have a reason right now to use the Insurrection Act to quell protests and violence against ICE operations in Minnesota. I don't think that's exactly what he said. He just said, I don't think I need to use it right now. On Thursday, Trump warned in a post that he could use the Insurrection Act, a law that dates back to the founding of the United States and has been invoked by presidents at least 30 times over its history to handle unrest in Minnesota. Apex says it's supposed to get down to 25 here in West Texas. Oh, my God. I hope they don't have the same problems that they did last time it got that cold with all the windmills just freezing up and not being able to be used. Comments he told Friday, Trump said that there's no need to invoke the law yet. Nanny Goat says, I'm lurking. I'm under the weather tonight. Well, I hope you feel better. Thanks for being here nonetheless. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it, but if I needed it, I'd use it, Trump told reporters at the White House before departing for Palm Beach. It's very powerful. Dan says, I had to look it up. The prosecutor was a Bush 1 and Bush 2 appointee. Oh, yeah, so Rhino, neocon, garbage person. I had to winterize the property this evening. Going to be 26 degrees here in Fort Worth. Woof, woof. Oh, yeah. Greg McNeely says, pro-Trumper 20, truck with American flag, protesting the Antifa in Portland was rest in peace near Pioneer Court Square during the mostly peaceful riots. Yes. I don't think the protests are bad enough to warrant the Insurrection Act yet. Well, the thing is, if the locals are not going to help and they're not going to stop the riots, so if they're just getting attacked and rolled up on and they can't do it with the forces they have, he's going to have no choice but to do it because, the Supreme Court claimed that, he can't just call up the National Guard for whatever reason, that he has to call up the regular forces or something. I don't know. Yes. Rest in peace, Aaron Danielson. The Insurrection Act, has been used by 48% of presidents. His warning on social media Thursday came after a federal officer shot and injured an illegal alien in Minneapolis after the Venezuelan ambushed the officer with a shovel. It sparked more protests and unrest in the Twin Cities. The FBI also announced it's offering $100,000 reward for anyone who provides information about the break-in that targeted government vehicles. If the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that's taken place in a once great state. At least they did say illegal. The Insurrection Act allows the president to deploy U.S. military troops to an area to deal with civil unrest. The last time it was invoked was by former President George H.W. Bush to quell riots, widespread violence, and arson incidents in the Los Angeles area in 1992. In normal circumstances, the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 forbids the military from taking part in civilian law enforcement other than for national disaster and in some drug enforcement cases. Really? Does it say that in the Posse Comitatus Act? Does it say that? I don't think it actually uses those words in that act. I don't think it says that, except for this. It's just been what courts have allowed. The Insurrection Act has been invoked 30 times in U.S. history, according to the New York University's Brennan Center for Justice, a commie organization. Supreme Court has ruled that the president alone can determine if the act's conditions have been met. Joe says, will join soon. Can only listen. I'm almost done. I will versus I have. I'm pretty sure we are past wanting the I have. The law has been used by presidents for disparate reasons. For instance, President Abraham Lincoln invoked the law in 1861 as multiple Democrat states seceded from the Union. It's like we're living through, history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, as they say. And by rhyming, it means demon rats are going to rebel. That's the start of the Civil War, yes. A century later, Presidents Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Lyndon Johnson used it to enforce desegregation measures during the Civil War. Also Democrats again. It was Democrats that they had to use it against all those times. It's not the first time Trump has warned that he could use the law. In October, Trump suggested he can invoke the act if courts denied an order sending the National Guard to multiple cities. In his first term, Trump suggested he would use the law to send troops to quell the riots during the BLM Summer of Love riots that burned down large swaths of America. Last month, the Trump administration sent more than 2,000 federal officers and agents to Minnesota to arrest illegal aliens, as well as investigate the rampant fraud of federal entitlement benefits. Obama deported more illegals than Trump. He had non-criminal illegals deported as well. Yes, he did. Both the administration and the Minnesota Democrats have blamed each other for stoking anger and violence there. After Trump's Truth Social post, Governor Tim Walz said he was making a direct appeal to the president. Let's turn the temperature down. Stop the campaign of retribution. This is not who we are. Well, this is probably after he heard about the investigation. Greg McNeely says, 92, I remember those riots. Protect Serve here in the Havana on the Wilmette. And an appeal to Minnesotans. I know this is scary. We must speak out loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. We cannot fan the flames of chaos. That's what he wants. Well, as the saying goes, the South will rise again, but man, I never knew that meant Somalia and California and other states. They're not actually in the South. Actually. And then this is reported a whole bunch of places. The Hill, Trump says there's no reason. Fox News. Trump says no need to invoke the Insurrection Act right now. Right now. The FBI offers a $100,000 reward after government vehicles broken into in Somalia. At least one arrest has been made public in the case, although officials say there will be more. The FBI said it's offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the arrest and capture of individuals who stole government property out of FBI vehicles in Somalia, as it announced the arrest of one suspect. Yeah. So then when is the time to invoke it? I thought the time to invoke it was now. That's my opinion. You Buy Now's here. What's up, You Buy Now? Good to see you. They are literally stealing 40% of everybody's wages with this industrial scale fraud and central bank inflation. Yes. You know, I saw a report. I was waiting to hear more about it, but I saw a report that said that if they got rid of all the fraud, that nobody who makes less than $500,000 a year would actually have to pay taxes. That they'll be able to just basically go back to the way it was originally supposed to be, where it was just the super rich pay the income tax. That's it. That's what they claimed when they started. It was just going to be the millionaires at that time. The top 1% or whatever. Anymore. Catch Patel announced on Thursday the arrest in a post on social media saying the Bureau is continuing to pursue other suspects involved. The suspect was identified as a member of the Latin Kings street gang who has unknown criminal violent history. Patel said, adding that there will be more arrests in this case. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the arrest was carried out by the ATF. The suspect stole FBI weapons and body armor. Hours before, on Thursday evening, the FBI said on social media that it will provide a reward for information leading to the recovery of stolen government property and or the arrest of individuals responsible for the destruction and theft of government property. I think most millionaires and billionaires left Minnesota, maybe. Mini Somalia is just another northern state of aggression. Excuse me, the South will rise above that BS. Multiple government vehicles were vandalized and broken into, and government property was stolen from inside of vehicles, the statement said, adding that it came in response to an assault on federal officers in northern Mini Somalia. Suspect's name and immigration status were not provided in either social media post. It's also not clear how many other suspects are being pursued. Meanwhile, protesters have persisted in the Mini Somalia area in the wake of a shooting of a woman by an ICE officer during a traffic stop. Video footage of the incident appears to show the woman driving a vehicle and moving it toward an agent who opened fire. Toward an agent. No. Epoch Times, what are you doing? She hit the agent with the car. I'm looking forward to the Newscomb arrest, but I'm sure he takes an immunity plea deal by pointing fingers at some comptroller. Probably. That's probably what's going to happen. Tampon Tim is going to do time. I hope he likes Kool-Aid on his cheeks. During the incident, the ICE agent involved in the shooting was injured and hospitalized. The officer was hit by the vehicle. She hit him. He went to the hospital. A doctor treated him. He has been released. The reward offered comes as President Trump said, and the Minnesota officials and citizens are impeding law enforcement operations in Minnesota, warning that he would send in the military under the Insurrection Act. Hey, IO Backyard Cam is here. Oops, a lot late, liked and listening from the start. Well, thank you. It's great. Marjorie says, don't chin me off. It's true. We are better than that. I don't know what that means. And also, people hit the like button. If the corrupt politicians of Somalia don't obey the law and stop the agitators, we will. We're going to institute the Insurrection Act. If our government stopped all the chaos all at once, that would end the game they play on all of us. Well, I agree. It will be a liberal Minnesota jury with a liberal Minnesota judge. Walls and frame may walk. Well, it won't be technically. It will be the entire state of Minnesota, which there's parts that aren't liberal. So it's not going to be like a Minneapolis jury. It's the way the federal government, the way the federal system works, is they draw from the district, the entire federal district. So I believe there's only one federal district in Minnesota. So it would be the entire state they would draw from. Just saying. Yes. Oh, I see. Yeah. If our government stopped all the chaos all at once, that would end the game they played on all of us. Then the people would turn all their attention on members of Congress and their corruption. Yes. That would work. That would work. Presidents have invoked the law more than 2 dozen times, most recently in 92. Demon rats in the state have been critical of the Trump administration immigration operation and have accused the government of violating residents' rights. Yeah. Have the people fight amongst themselves, keep the heat off the government. Yeah. Yeah, their supporters exaggerated. So you get a George Floyd jury? I mean, you could. You could. I mean, they did let an activist onto that jury. I hate their harassing, assaulting ICE agents, but it is fun to see these entitled Karens learning that actions have consequences. Definitely. I can't get comfortable tonight. Yeah, same thing from the Post here. It just says the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward. Here's a story that says the people who run some of your favorite Twin Cities restaurants are scared and exhausted. Scared and exhausted. Yeah, they got where they are by fraud. Granola says, as the Arizona election fraud investigation heated up, sudden mass immigrant fraud became a thing. I don't put it past them that they're trying to hide the ball, as they say. Man, I think I got a fever. They broke their oaths to bring U.S. here. Miguel Lopez routine is very different than it was a month ago. Before the ongoing federal immigration crackdown created the biggest disruption to Twin Cities restaurants since the COVID pandemic. Always an early riser, he now adds another 2 hours to his mornings to be able to do the day's shopping for his St. Paul restaurant, Homie. Homie, his restaurant is called Homie. He then delivers supplies to the former employees who are no longer willing to risk leaving home, and then helps his depleted team with ingredient prep in the kitchen before opening to customers. Lopez spends the day in the kitchen where he takes phone orders and makes food shoulder to shoulder with his three remaining employees, down from 7 before ICE enforcement operations began, Operation Metro Surge. In early December, the employees were all Latin Americans who have taken to wearing their immigration paperwork around their necks on lanyards. Mm-hmm. If I could do it, I'm going to. How Twin Cityans are helping immigrant neighbors. They don't know if an agent is going to give them time to reach for their wallet or go to their locker before they haul them away and lock them up for days or weeks until they figure out they're here legally. Do they have work permits to be here? Work permits to work? Because I think like not having a tattooed on their face. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Pretty soon they'll have to have tattoo our immigrant information on our foreheads in big block letters. Yeah, like the guy who stole the gun. He had his identifiers tattooed on his face. Mm-hmm. Or do they want tattoos on our arms like the Nazis? Oh my God. They always got to go with the Nazis. Always got to go with the Nazis. But who's the real Nazis? Immigrant-run restaurant owners and employees interviewed this week said they feel villainized as criminals or fraudsters. Despite doing valuable, unappreciated jobs, some were afraid that speaking on the record would jeopardize their business or make them targets of ICE. Yeah, crybabies. Guilty. Yes. These idiots have been bullshitting the people so long that it's now catching up with their ass. Yeah. With the dining room closed and the restaurant door always locked from the inside, some might see Lopez as less welcoming than it once was. Like many immigrant-run businesses, Hami has switched to online and phone orders that allows small parties to knock and enter as a way to keep employees and customers safe. With no in-restaurant seating and some immigrant customers regardless of their status, just too afraid to come pick up orders. Lopez lost his revenues this month are down 50% from the same time last year. Uh-oh. That's probably with the inflation that caused prices to go up too. We're multitasking, we're running around, we're doing things that make us make it to the other side of this. Yes, Lopez said of himself and Skeleton Crew. We used to think that the boosted ICE presence would be over quickly once they got the real criminals. Wow. You got judges ordering them to release the real criminals. No DoorDash. They don't trust their family and friends to deliver meals. Maybe. I don't know. So he's admitting to hiring illegals. That's what it sounds like to me. Congress is very screwed up. It doesn't honor our Bill of Rights. It allows racists, color racists, and genderists inside Congress and lets oath breakers both remain. Wow. Congress is the rotten head of this fish. These people were shut down over COVID, which was just fine. Yeah, they don't care. They didn't care about that. All illegals are real criminals. Yes. Audrey, yeah, they thought they would win and just get richer and richer from government funding, welfare programs that they were approved to get a cut of. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Lopez says he only knows how to make do two things, make food and take care of his workers and community. Oh. It's all he knows? It's the only thing he knows? Doesn't know how to read, doesn't know how to write, doesn't know arithmetic. No? Doesn't know how to drive. No? So he only knows two things? Really? Just those two things? My employees have families, and those families rely on my business for them to survive, so we have to keep going. Restaurants have contended with the employee shortages because some workers, documented and undocumented, are afraid of being swept up in an ICE raid. Hasn't happened yet. Be afraid of it, but it hasn't happened. Says if you're feeling a flu coming on, try taking Ricola, the yellow one. It always eases the symptoms for me. Been using it for years. I meant to take some, what's it called? Cold Ease today, some zinc supplements, and I totally forgot. But doesn't know the oath of allegiance? Maybe. Those hungry not at home are left with minimal income. Some owners like Lopez provide some money even to those not working, while others simply cannot afford the additional expense. Yes. Had they won, we'd still have a civil war, but we'd be the ones out in the streets trying to survive, and we'd have nothing because they would have taken everything. Everything. Al Gore rhythm sensors are working overtime. Guilty. Preceded by a comment about James Brown's twin sister. Mostly peaceful riots. Can't even say her name. The hungry not at home is left are left with minimal income. Some owners like Lopez provide some. Okay, yeah. The fear extends even to some citizens who worry their ethnicity will open them up to questions about their legal status. Why would you be afraid of questions about your legal status? I mean, if someone stopped me and says, what's your legal status? I would just tell them I'm an American citizen. I was born here, where I was born, show my ID, and say, I hope that's enough. If not, I mean, they do give, every U.S. citizen does have a card or something somewhere that says they're a U.S. citizen, somewhere. Maybe their birth certificate says they were born here to U.S. citizen. I mean, I don't know. Something. Illegals in restaurants have always been a thing, but they should really focus on the factories by Cargill and Land O'Lakes. They're all Somali and have no hygiene during food processing. Yeah, I think we're gonna rue the day that we've allowed all these illegals to come in and have these jobs like this, because it's gonna they're gonna poison a bunch of people. Probably could be on accident or it could be on purpose. Hey, Tasmanian Rebels here says, I've worked in a restaurant industry. Most restaurants don't last more than 6 months. Yes, they do. Like usually, I think it's 4 out of 5 restaurants close within the first 6 months or a year. I already rue the day. Imminent ruinage. Is it true they stop people going in and out of California? They stop people going into California for agricultural things, looking for fruit flies. And just wondering, did you happen to drink a Red Bull again? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to plead the fifth. Actual Americans, that is, yes. Look at all the food recalls that we've had in the past 5 years. Oh, God, yeah, it's brutal. We get so many food recalls now for different things. It's crazy. Crazy. Arrested doesn't equal conviction. Show your ID. Yeah. I thought a lot of states have laws that say when the police stop you and ask for your ID, you have to provide it. I thought there's quite a few states that do that. Maybe I'm wrong. Salvio and his wife and co-owner Jenny Nguyen are the children of Vietnamese immigrants. They recently finished preparations for a second location in downtown Mini Somalia. Yes, build a wall of plastic straws to keep Californians from leaving. Oh, Hank says, well, me and the cats are going to bed. Good night, peoples. Happy birthday, Audra. Thanks, Jim. Oh. Yes. All 50 states. Bet she doesn't like that idea, though. Yeah. So when Obama was deporting millions of illegals, was there just as much attention on ICE? Or is it, again, just because it's Trump? Well, it's, again, just because it's Trump. But I also want to point out that the vast majority of Obama's deportations were actually just turnarounds at the border. They would just, someone would try to come in and they would say, nope, you can't come in, get out. And they'd count that as a deportation. So it's like, was it? Who knows? Minneapolis Fire Department report. So the Minneapolis Fire Department report reveals new details about the ICE-involved shooting of Renee Good. The illegal immigrants and food processing plants could be due to the fact that an enormous amount of companies are foreign-owned. It's possible. It's also because I think companies like foreigners, people, especially illegals, because then they don't have to worry about them complaining. They can't, just go get another job. Yes, I wish you a happy birthday. Audrey Half Irish says, oh, thanks. I wasn't paying attention to American politics way back then. Yeah, it's pretty much true. It's that's what it was. They counted turnarounds as deportations, which they didn't go through any type of. And the thing about that is that would be this whole stuff that they like to say about due process and Trump's a tyrant because he's doing all this stuff. And those people, none of the people that got turned around at the border got a hearing or had either due process vacated or anything like that. What the hell does the fire department have to do with it? That's what I was wondering. Granola says the packing plants in Canada became mostly foreign workers decades ago. Yes, they're bringing them in. Fire department report reveals the new details about the ICE shooting. Renee Good was fatally shot after she used her vehicle as a weapon as ICE agents descended in a neighborhood in Minneapolis last week. Oh, Greg says, crapola, I almost forgot to slam the like button. Well, slam it good. Da-da-da-da-da. So if Biden had bothered with turnarounds, this wouldn't be happening. Cough, cough. Well, if he bothered, but he did. That was the whole point, is Obama was turning them around at the border, and then if they snuck in somewhere else that he didn't know about, he was fine with it. He just didn't want them coming in where people were counting. JBS has been hiring illegals and have tunnels, and they've been sued several times, raising our prices. The girl exposing it tries to get to the tunnels. Whoa, tunnels. Wow, tunnels. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Tim Hortons is now foreign owned and operated too. Molly's mom still supports illegals. Wow. It says they were called to the scene. They do a report. Initial reports claim Good was shot 3 times. However, the fire incident report reveals she was shot 4 times. 4 times. How was she shot 4 times when only 3 shots were fired? Says Renee Good suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the chest, 1 to her forearm and another to the left side of her head. So is it possible the one shot that hit the mirror ricocheted? It's possible. Or is it possible that after the bullet hit the windshield, it split, went 2 different directions? I mean, that's possible. We only heard 3 shots. Hey, Dr. Meganauts is here. Says, hello, Jim. Hello, Sar. Tim Sars has been owned by a conglomerate that owns Wendy's and other outlets. Yes. That's amazing training, a boomerang bullet. Yeah. Could one of them have gone through the arm to the chest? Does that count too? Well, I guess they're not saying, it's possible. It's possible. They're not saying what the deal is. But I would imagine it's probably went through the forearm and into the chest, or went through the chest and into the forearm, or something like that. I would imagine that. Either that, or it was, like I said, ricochets, or the bullet split up somehow. Hollow points do split. Yes, they will, especially if they hit glass or something like that. They will rip apart. Though her arm, though her arm and through her arm and into her face. Okay. Wait, there were only 3 shots. Could one have ricocheted or something? Well, that's what I think happened. Must have been. Or they're counting they're counting an exit, like an entrance, a pass through somewhere, like a through and through. They're counting that as 4 because it hit again or something. This story's bullshit. So he had illegal employees, but trust me, bro, he paid a fair wage, and now he delivers free food to their houses. Yeah, it's like, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro, I'm a good person. Trust me, bro. Hands on the wheel went through her and then into her chest, maybe. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's completely possible. We had her hands like this, when a bullet that went through the windshield could have hit her forearm and then went into her chest. It's 100% possible, if not probable, I would say. Kevin says, remember when you once said you knew what it was like to be shot? Yeah, it sucks. You don't ever want to be shot. It's a horrible feeling. Good 37 suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the right side of her chest and 1 to her left forearm and 1 with protruding tissue on the left side of the patient's head, according to the report. So maybe that 3rd shot through the side window did end it all, maybe. Ugh. That's messy. Initial reports indicate Good had been shot 3 times. Kevin says, I'm going to need more info on that someday. Someday you just might get it. The only question is, how many bullets were there? Well, that would be something you would think a reporter would follow up on with them. Like, wait. If only 3 shots were fired, how was she have 4 bullet wounds? If something was a pass through, a through and through, or what? Something. It really doesn't matter. It was succession without pause. It's not like 3 shots, pause, execution shots. Yeah, no, it was just, I think it was just 3 shots. But I think the 3rd one, because things are moving, he's standing still, he's shooting, he's getting hit and firing. So I would say not that big of a deal. No, Kevin says, for someday. Thank you very much, Kevin. With that, we are now just $61 away from the first additional hour of the show. Thank you. Close a couple tabs. Uh-oh. but this is what they're reporting. This is what they're reporting here in the New York Post. Says Minneapolis Fire Department report reveals Renego was shot 4 times. Let's see. Maybe we'll do it again just so because.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the
I heard 3
Dramatic
shots.
video purportedly shows the moment an ICE.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God!
3 shots. 3 shots. I mean, so would they reported if it was 1 shot fired and it went through, her leg into the other leg and then bounced off the thing and hit her arm here? Would they say she was shot 3 times with 1 shot? I mean, because that's what it sounds like they're doing here is they're trying to talk like a pass through and through or something on her arm. You heard 4? Well, now I'm questioning my own hearing here. If Joe's saying he heard 4. Tiberius says as long as the dog was okay. Well, yeah, don't hurt the dogs. But that dog is going to be fine as long as it wasn't the ATF. If the ATF showed up, then all bets are off on the dog. Nah, it's 3. One more time. All right, let's listen one more time. Rebecca Good should be charged immediately for her role. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God!
I only heard 3. I heard only 3, and I have seen this 20 times. Okay. I thought it was 3. I mean, everyone was reporting it was 3. And now they're saying, there's new news. They found a 4th bullet hole. I mean, maybe it was it also could be possible it's a fragment. Maybe the bullet split when it hit the windshield. Maybe the bullet split when it hit the mirror. Maybe Greg says, police activity has some awesome breakdown, 5-6 video perspectives. I blame MSM. Foulsy money's divisiveness is lucrative as F. Sound analysis could reveal the number of shots. I'm guessing it's 3 shots, 4 wounds. Yes. That's what I'm guessing too. I closed my eyes so I could hear better. Well, did it work? What does it matter? Honestly, 3, 4, 14? It doesn't matter to me. I mean, the media is trying to portray it as more than happened because then they can stretch out the length of time, that to make him more culpable, I think. Kevin says 14 would have been a lot better. Says, Jim, did you watch the Grassy Knoll video? Are you talking about the Kennedy assassination? You talking about the Zapruder film? Is that what you're talking about? Like back and to the left? Back and to the left? I didn't say better. I thought you said better. Oh, 14 would be a lot. I don't know why I said 14 would be better. Huh. That's where the 4th bullet come from. Oh, the Grassy Knoll. Okay. Sam Harris is spouting insane babble over it, just moving goalposts as far as he can, pretending to be relevant as always. Yeah, well, he's an idiot. 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 All right. So yeah. So that's that. Of course, it's TMZ's got it too. You know, rah, 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 shot 4 times by ICE. I don't know. Then we got this story. Donald Trump says U.S. shouldn't even have midterms as demon rats set to win House. I mean, how are you going to write that? James O. James says 4? Maybe.
We start with the oil tanker business. I mean, I know John Healey's saying, you know, it all falls within international law. We're doing the right thing here. But when we tie it in with the bigger picture, how are we dealing with the United States and President Trump? We don't seem to be very clear on what we think about Venezuela. We're certainly against what he seems to be saying about Greenland. Are you stuck between a rock and a hard place?
No, I just think this is the world that we're living in now. It's a more unpredictable world. President Trump, you know, he is who he is. And the task for every country, including us, is to respond to that world. And, you know, at the heart of that is still a really important relationship between the UK and the United States. And it's one that keeps your viewers safe every day.
Okay. Okay. Rachel Boone says, what the hell is this? Better yet, who came up with that? Yeah, I don't know. Greg McNeely says, I'm listening to Ken Burns' PBS documentary, American Revolution, while watching, wondering how much we know about history is actual propaganda. I would say probably 90% of it's propaganda because, you know, as they say, is the winners get to write the history books. It's probably his best shot. Yeah. If the report says 3 or 4, they know for sure. You know how many bullets found and missing from the bag. Yeah. Oh. James O'Janey says total knob. 90% sounds about right. Yeah, that's what I would say. That would be my guesstimation. My guestimization. So Donald Trump says they shouldn't have the midterms. President insisted he wouldn't say cancel the election, blasting the fake news media. Trump has expressed frustration that the Republicans could lose the House. President was citing historic trends that have seen the party in power lose seats in the second year of a presidency. He said it's some deep psychological thing, but when you win the presidency, you don't win the midterms. When you're thinking of it, we shouldn't even have an election. Yeah, who knows? Maybe what he was talking about there. It's possible he was talking about any number of things. But, you know. Justin, a shady NGO that gives clean water to Kenya and receives $32.4 million in federal tax dollars, has been exposed. James O'Janey says, I drink and play video games all night. I may have missed the details. Yeah, it's possible. Me too. Oh, no, it's more than that. Probably 98%. Okay. Well, he should have done what he promised, and he made a good start, but then fell off after the 3rd month. Yeah. Nothing surprises me nowadays. I'm old, and they lied even back then. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they went to a registered address, and it was deserted. Even the people in the building had no clue. Again, $32 million. Why does this keep happening?
Millennium Water Alliance doesn't exist here?
Never heard of them. We found an NGO that received $35 million of taxpayer money for water in Kenya.
So we decided to visit their headquarters in DC during their business hours, but no one was there.
What's the next investigation? What are we doing?
Millennium Water Alliance. It's supposed to be one big building with 4 or 5 different nonprofits that have collected together $4.6 million last year in grants. 1101 Connecticut Ave Northwest. Millennium Water Alliance doesn't exist here? Millennium Water Alliance? Okay.
No, it doesn't exist.
Okay. You said you've never heard of them before?
No, they probably never heard of them.
It says that this is the address, right?
This is the address.
I'm gonna call my supervisor.
They don't exist here?
No.
Wow. It says their address is here. We came to talk to them about it, but you've never heard of them?
No.
Okay.
You've never heard of him? Really? You've never heard of him? Really?
Sweet
You've never heard of him?
450?
Really? You've never heard of him?
Oh, okay.
Really?
He said
I guess the first time wasn't enough?
1101
you
Connect.
could sign it for me because they are mail carrier.
What is
Mail carrier?
Yes. Yes, so
So-
they pick up their mail from them, but they don't use their office.
So there's no office, but we can go up there
Yeah, you
essentially.
can go up there
Okay.
and ask the front desk.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Sign it for me.
Okay.
So no one from that company actually like works here. It's just they pick up mail here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Is there like an office though, or it's just a mailbox?
No, it's a office. It's an office space up there.
Oh, okay, but this is for mail.
It's a shared workspace, so it's a lot of companies up there.
Oh, it's a
But
shared
you can
workspace.
Ask the front desk person when you get up there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Before we got to the place, we had a suspicion that this was actually an office that was shared by many other companies, and we were right.
As we were entering the elevator, we happened to run into the floor manager for that floor that was dropping his key back off and knew where their office was at.
You too.
Is this 450?
Are you coming to say?
Millennium Water Alliance?
Are they meeting you here?
Well, that's where it says they're at. Oh,
there
right
you
here.
Yeah, they're. I haven't seen them today. I'll show you.
Okay.
Cool.
This might be one of them things where like you rent like the cubicles thing, and so it makes it seem like you have a more established business. You have this office space, even though it's all shared, and they're basically just like have like cubicles or something.
Yeah, I don't think they're here yet. If you're supposed to meet them, this is
Mhm.
their office.
Oh.
Okay.
Are they typically here, or is?
No.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
never
you're just
here.
like dropping in.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we were trying to do an interview with one of the people from the foundation or from the. Oh, this is all it is?
This office, yeah.
Oh, we thought it was like a big.
Well, the way they
they-
have it on the internet, it looks like it's like a crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a sophisticated.
They might have like this could be like a satellite office.
All the other addresses in Kenya.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, like because this is like a co-work.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it. But
like
so
a WeWork.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
typically empty though. Like it's not really.
Like they'll come in here on like they never use the office. They're always like in the
Oh, just hang-
the kitchen.
Wow, they never use. They're just in the kitchen stealing food, probably like they steal money from us. They're probably stealing people's lunches. Yes. Marjorie, we hoped he'd have told us the truth. I'm very disappointed in him. People expected Trump to fix everything his first year. Totally unrealistic. And the IRS and under Biden wanted to track down citizens for more money. That's right. They wanted to track you down. Somebody gave you $5. Your grandma gave you $5 for Christmas in 1997. We want our tax dollars on that. The question is, when are they going to see something done about this? We keep seeing us being ripped off, yet not one arrest. Even Tit James hasn't been charged again. After the War of Northern Aggression, they controlled the narrative. Look at the burning of Atlanta. Totally effed up. That's right. One NGO had three registered recipients whose address was an outhouse receiving millions. Do they rent office space? Just get mail there? It seems like they just have it like they're renting space just to receive mail there, so it looks like it's an actual established business as opposed to just running out of a post office box. Because a lot of places, I think the government included, you can't send anything to a post office box. Rent a conference room. That's what it seems like. Who owns all these shared workplace businesses? It's foreigners mostly. I mean, there's not only just foreigners. Some people do it when they're just starting out. If you got like a 1 or 2 man operation, you don't have the ability to pay, secretaries and other clerical staff and different people. You go to one of these places, and then it's just like it's all baked into the cost of the rental fee. They have to have a mailbox. Got to get them checks mailed somewhere. That's right. I'm asking, do they pay rent on these places, or is it the owners pulling the scam off? I don't know. I would imagine they pay some kind of rent. By the way, does Somalia have any infrastructure for potable water? No, they don't. Their infrastructure for potable water is women with baskets of water on that they carry on their heads to bring water places. Come on, guys, dress better than sweatpants. Yes. Can you imagine how much the building owners are making off having so many companies do fraud in their rental spaces? Yeah, the building owners are probably making money hand over fist. Hand over fist? Yeah, I'm thinking this ties into the WeWork debacle. I always wondered how they stayed profitable. Office space rental companies like Regis. Lots of small companies, sole props use that kind of space. Yeah, but usually those small companies, they don't have huge government contracts getting $30, $40 million from the government and grants and stuff like that. Yes, lull. Bella's having a dream. Bella's having a nice dream. I agree with that. You can't fix it all in just a few months. NASCAR Mo, Eric Donnelly, we must follow the money. I'd love to know what Bella's dreaming. Oh, me too. I'm also wondering who's paying the light bill and water. It has to be someone paying those bills. Well, I think those bills are all included in the rent, like whatever rent you're paying for the office space. I think that's all covered by the building. Like, a lot of office space areas, the electricity and stuff, because it's not going to be that much in a small office space, is controlled by the building. I have a friend who has an office like that, but they mainly work from home. He also isn't a $32 million NGO. Yeah, over $4 million a year, not hard to pay for a cubicle. That's what I would say.
Yeah, just hanging out. But there's a lot of people at least, or is it like a few people?
There are like 4 people that are regular, but they'll have like conferences here with with some people. So
well, I guess that's
they
not
they
gonna work
definitely
out.
come in here very like regularly at all. Like I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
they're definitely going to be here on a Tuesday or something.
It's just random.
Yeah, very sporadic. Like I saw them, it's Friday. I saw them on Wednesday. I don't know when I saw them once before that.
Oh, because online it looks like they're a big thing, and they get all these like millions of dollars from the government and stuff
Well,
like
I think
that.
they do. Like, they're definitely a big organization. And
Yeah.
they're just
This is
kinda like
where are they at?
home, and then this is where they, if they need to have a meeting, they come here and have it.
Cool. Okay.
No?
Oh, they are a big
We'll come back
organization.
to
They
that.
got to
Yes.
spread that
Don't
32
admit it
million
yet.
around somewhere.
Well, no, we might have to start dropping.
They got to spend that 32 million around somewhere. The same jury would happily hang one of us for refusing the pronouns. That's right. A Seattle jury has acquitted a criminal illegal alien who rammed his vehicles at ICE agents during an operation last year. This is horrible. This is happening though in a lot of places around the country. Stuff like this, jury nullification is happening. Victor Vicano Reyes, a Mexican national convicted of drive-by shooting, accelerated his vehicle at ICE agents and intentionally collided head-on with one vehicle, striking another. Leftist activists are praising the acquittal, saying no Seattle jury will convict subjects accused of targeting ICE agents. They are calling for more violent attacks. Hey, Sunshine with 5 says, hey, everyone, time to rally for Audra's birthday. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the 5. And with that, now that means we are $56 away. Just $56 away from the first additional hour of the show. Thank you so much. Dr. Megawatt says, USA spending, that government surge. Bigger than the Somali BS. Oh, well, you know. And then Audra comes in with 1 gifted for her birthday. He says 1 gifted. Jim tells you membership. Thank you, Audra. Let's see who got that gifted membership. It says that Rosman Ranch, 8126 received a gifted membership from Audra. That means we are now 50 away, just $50 away from the first additional hour of the show. They are telling leftists to try and get injuries so they can convict or not, depending on who's on trial. And if they can do that, they will just pay a leftist judge. Oh, my God. Wow. I didn't even think about that. Probably why. To get on juries. Oh, to get on juries, not injuries. To get on juries so they can convict or not. Yes. Yeah, that's the plan, is they're training people. I know that there's a group in D.C. and stuff and other places that were training people to get on juries. Training people. Oh, Margie comes in with 5. Thank you, Margie. No comment, just a 5. That means we are now 45 away, just 45 away from the first additional hour of the show. Yeah, wishing Audra a very happy birthday. Thank you, hon. That's great. How do I stop my keyboard typing numbers? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know how that's even happening, the typing of the numbers. Like, I have to hit a number for it to type numbers on mine. Police do the same. They claim if you turn wrong, you were resisting arrest. A cut they caused themselves in a scuffle, they charge you with assault. Yeah. What the app says, it's looking good, but I have him on doggy downer so he doesn't exert himself. Oh, okay. Talking about your dog. Oh, yeah. I have recovery for your dog. It looks, happy birthday, Audra. It didn't allow a message. Oh. Yeah, they try to rule on juries, and that's one reason to tell us not to vote, as only registered voters can serve on juries. Yeah. Well, they did. There was a report they found in Michigan, like 234 illegal aliens that were somehow in the jury pool, which they tried to get them to do something about it, and the Secretary of State said, oh, no, we're not going to touch it. And then the DOJ is now suing them, trying to get the information, because clearly it's a problem. Clearly it's a problem. A Mexican citizen living illegally in Stanwood, Washington, is facing federal charges after allegedly ramming government vehicles and attempting to evade arrest at high speed. Hey, howdy, hamburger helper. I'll be typing letters. It'll type numbers on the top line of letters instead, and I don't know how to fix that. It's got to be like a shift key maybe or something. I think all you have to be called for a jury is a driver's license. I thought a lot of states, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of states have it limited to registered voters, because that way they know it's not somebody just visiting. It's a guarantee that it's just registered voters. That's it. He appeared in district court and is charged with 2 counts of assault on a federal officer. He remains in federal custody. Oh my God, can Blondie actually be moving? Let's see, Doc. Let's see what Doc's got. Oh. Federal grand jury, breaking news. It says breaking news. A federal grand jury has already begun issuing subpoenas for Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Frey regarding their conspiracy to obstruct ICE operations. The DOJ is moving quick. We're beyond a criminal referral. It's likely that indictments are coming soon. Coming soon to a theater near you. Oh. Huh.
Person familiar tells me that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and the Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey are both being investigated by the Justice Department. And a grand jury has issued subpoenas for both of them, though it doesn't appear that either have been served yet. What we do know tonight, as we come on the air, is that the Justice Department investigation centers on possible obstruction of federal law enforcement. Both the FBI Director, Kash Patel, and the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, were in Minneapolis today. And just a short time ago, Todd Blanche was on Fox News explaining, or attempting to explain, why the Justice Department is taking this action.
When the governor or the mayor threaten our officers, when the mayor suggests that he's encouraging citizens to call 911 when they see ICE officers, that is very close to a federal crime.
Person familiar tells me that Minnesota Governor...
Very close to a federal crime. Wow. Yes. Minnesota is just a driver's license then. Okay. I think it's dumb law when it comes to computers. Maybe the type of keyword I got on my tablet, maybe. Jury duty in my state is only from the voting rolls. I thought that's what it was in Florida, too. Registered voters. That's what I thought it was. We know a lot of people on the voting rolls that are not legal citizens. Don't kid yourself. It's really simple. They allow fraud to get the votes from the whole community, and the fraudsters get a cut while they support the crooks. Yes, Fran VT. What's up, Queen? Hey, Jim. In New Jersey, they can call them from either a DL or a voter registration. Yeah, because, I mean, what if somebody doesn't have a driver's license? I mean, there was a time when a vast majority of the public didn't drive. Like, I mean, let's be real here. Prior to the 1960s, 1970s, probably, more than half of the females, the women in the country didn't have driver's licenses. There was a whole time when it was considered very unladylike for a woman to drive. just was. I'm not making any statement like trying to disparage anybody, but just was very normal, several, 40 years ago, 50 years ago for, women, wives to not drive. It just was normal. It was considered normal. Michigan used to be registered voters, but they switched it to driver's license because they couldn't get registered voters to show up for jury duty. Received a YouTube short showing a Somali lady attempting to take out $700 million from the airport that thought it was AI generated. Nope. I'm wondering if it's taking this long to get all the evidence in order to take to trial. It's maybe. Yes. Half hours goes, oh, look. I'm not disparaging any women at all. I'm just saying that it was considered normal. Probably I would probably say that in like 1970, it was probably only 25-30% of women had driver's licenses. They just didn't care to learn how to drive. A lot of them, the older ones. I just have to say, I'm retired USF. I'm out the door quickly during jury selection. Yeah. Well, Fran, here you must be a registered voter and have to have voted the previous year. If you miss 2 voting cycles, you're removed the voter rolls automatically. I honestly thought it was a federal law on registration. State ID is valid too. How do you fix a ball of worms? I'm Californian. I don't know. There was a time when women couldn't be on juries. Yeah, that was in the 1800s, maybe. I don't know if that's even true then. And oh my God, Audra with another 5 memberships? Thank you, Audra. Whoa. Okay. Let's see who got those. It says, Resist Tyrants received a gift of membership from Audra. Ann Bainbridge received a gift of membership. House of R, O Snakes, and Pop Culture Rocks all received gift of memberships from Audra. Well, thank you so much, Audra. With that, we are now 15 away from the first additional hour of the show. That's awesome. And then, Anthony, Soldier, Tony, to New York with you for 20.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much. With that 20, we got the extra hour. Yay! And now that means we are currently $95 away from the second additional hour of the show. Well, thank you so much to New York with you, Tony, Soldier of Providence, and Audra, and all the other generous, very, very generous gifts they received. Just where they know the military is close to law enforcement, they have automatic bias. Yes. Audrey, you did it again. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Anthony. My eyes are possibly going after Walls and Frey. They never had photo IDs either, but were registered to vote and took that right seriously. Well, yeah, they used to have, believe it or not, driver's licenses and IDs didn't have pictures on them until I think the 80s. The 1980s is when they started putting photos on stuff. Your driver's license just had your description and your name. If you can believe that. Wow. Oh, and I have to, wait, hold on. And thank you. Happy birthday. Yes. Thank you, Anthony. My one grandmother didn't drive at all, and my other grandma didn't get her driver's license until she was in her 50s. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my mother did not learn how to drive until after us kids were all born. Yeah, and I got her license then, and so she was in her 20s at least, late 20s. And yes, I had both of my grandmothers. My grandmothers never had driver's licenses, never knew how to drive, both of them. Congratulations to all the gift recipients. Fran, I've never been called. My son has twice this year. My daughter once. Richard Wharton says, hey, howdy there, my friend. What's up? Great to see you, Richard Wharton. Oh, Brian August says, just woke up. Promised 5 a.m. sucks. Well, thank you. With that 10, that means we are now 85 away from the second additional hour of the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then, oh, man. Let's say thank you, Brian, Audrey as well. And then James O'Jimbo for a $10 super sticker. Wow. With that, we are now just $75 away from the second additional hour of the show. Wow. Steve Hilliard says, my mom got her first driver's license from the Sears catalog. Seriously? Is that real? Is that a joke? My mother was the oldest of the kids, and she firmly believed her driver's license was her freedom, yet her sisters didn't. Huh. And some women, I think, just didn't want to learn. They didn't care to it, you know. I mean, plus, you got to think that at the time, a lot of people grew up in cities. You know, people that lived in cities, like urban areas, like cities, that they had like public transportation, like buses, you know, trains, you know, streetcars. KBT says both my grandmothers drove and they were born in 1926-27. Honest to God, Jim. Well, that's awesome. Now, I'd be really like to know, KPT, Steve, you other people, did they live in rural areas where you had to travel long distances to get stuff? You know, like where they needed to, you know, like to the license to be able to go to the market or whatever, or, you know, to take the milk into, you know, whatever, you know, take the crops in, you know, were they driving tractors and stuff like that? Is that part of it too? You know, like that's why they learned how to drive. I don't know. But I got to fix this. I got to fix this goal here. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty and difference inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier. Give the children laughter. Remind them all it used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. Boo, 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 boo. Mom was born in 1920. Well, I wanted to know, was it like a rural area, western Kansas? So Nashaw, New Hampshire, they could walk or take the bus if they wanted. Okay. So that kind of screws up my theory. My grandmother was the youngest of 13 and was the first to get her license. That woman was driven. Well, sounds like she wasn't driven. Sounds like she drove. She was in charge. I honestly think Mama just got tired of waiting on Daddy to take her places. They lived in the country until the 70s, but she lived in a very rural area and Daddy worked all the time. Jim tells you, Nashua. The Hoot Owls, Eastern Kansas, Garfield. Wow, the Hoot Owls dated the Jackrabbits. I actually don't know if my dad's mom drove. I always assumed so, but she died when he was 11. Take me to the place I love. We had to drive your tractor to school back in my day. Okay. Well, thank you. I do have to do something here. Oh, wait. that one. Katie Davis Court for this one. Oh, it says Exhibit A in any insurrection, seditious conspiracy indictment against Mayor Frey. The Article 3 projects. And we're in a position right now. We have the residents that are asking for very limited our police officers. We have to fight ICE agents out in the street. This is what he said. This is his words.
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
Wow, that's crazy talk. That's damn crazy talk. Leftists and open border extremists are using social media to openly solicit riot gear for their comrades, like they did during the 2020 BLM Antifa riots. They're asking for gas masks, gloves, bandanas, burner phones, Faraday bags to block phone signals, and more. Look at this. Resistance shopping list. Look at this. Janet Wall Myers. What do you know? Look at these people. Bandanas, backpacks, umbrellas, burner phones. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says actions like taking out Islamic militants who slaughter Christians in Africa. Who've got the reins down in Africa? Gotta take the time, the things we never had. Ooh, bum, 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 bum. And the arrest of an indicted narco-terrorist in Venezuela sow division in our communities. What's wrong with this guy?
And indiscriminate bombings on the continent of Africa and in the Middle East. The leader of a foreign country kidnapped in the middle of the night to enrich oil executives with no legal basis and no plan to prevent widespread instability in South America. All of these actions spew chaos and sow division in our communities. They want us to abandon our humanity and turn against one another as Americans. They want to divide us. They want to continue to expand their power.
What the fuck is he talking about? No legal basis? No legal basis? Is he serious with that? No legal basis? The communists stole all the American property. That was the first legal basis. First of all, you fucking commie. Second of all, what the fuck flag is that? That's the Chicago flag. It's 4 stars on white with two blue bars. Jim, at least you sing better than Joe can rap. He wants a civil war. Yes, he does. This criminal's the biggest race baiter there is. Yeah, that's fucked up. It is. Give me a Vegemite sandwich. Down in the land of Bombay, I come from the land down under, where women roam and men thunder. Yeah, he's a retard. He is. He's indiscriminate. Yeah. Jim's chat is suave and debonair. Rico suave. They had 6 of us and siblings, only 2 children they had. Fight as in present as a physical threat, maybe. Yo, dude, ever cover right to repair legislation? I think it would overlap your freedom-minded audience. I've talked about some of that stuff. Like, I think it's a problem, especially in New York. I'm trying to think of the guy's name who did a lot of coverage on it, who fought and sued for the right to repair, like Apple and stuff like that in New York. I'm not sure where else it stands. I thought a lot of that. Wasn't there a warrant? Yes, there was a warrant for his arrest. That's what he mean, but no legal basic. Mayor Crump Johnson. Yeah. He's talking about the center flag. Yeah, that's the flag behind him in the center. I don't know, but that's I don't know what flag that is. That's not the Illinois flag. So I have no friggin' clue what that flag in the center is. Yeah, better run. All these people in Chicago, this idiot is the mayor. Yeah. That's the new, we've been conquered by Islam flag. It's a new thing in many cities across America. They're very proud of it. Are you, what? What? Louis Rossman. Yeah, Louis Rossman. Yeah. You buy now. Yeah. He's I fought a lot of his stuff. It's a Pan-African flag, red, black, and green stripes. What the fuck is it doing there? What the fuck is it doing there? What is it doing in a prominent position in the middle like that? He's a retard. I can't believe I missed Beetlejuice over this idiot. Red commie flag. Probably the Chicago Teachers Union. You know what? Probably. But they're not supposed to. Yeah. Yeah, Tampon Tim changed the state flag to look like the smelly flag. Yeah, he did. Why isn't this guy gone? He's a cokehead. I don't know. The city of Chicago flag is one of the best flags in the country. Yeah, represent. Represent. It's an interfaith meeting, which means Islamic. Ugh, gross. Daylight come and we want to go home. Day-o, day-o. Daylight come and we want to go home. Yes, Jim, there's a city in New Jersey that just hung their Concord flag over their courthouse. It's actually not, I believe that's against the U.S. code. Ah. Wow. Wow. Ilhan Omar today, she hasn't heard of a single case. She hasn't heard of a single case where ICE has picked up an illegal alien with a prior criminal history. That's right. They've none. She hasn't heard of any. Doesn't matter how many ICE lists. She's going to keep going with this fucking retardation.
I still have not heard a single case in this search where someone who was a criminal, undocumented, being picked up from the street. Many of the cases that DHS, at least to my knowledge, and I would love for them to provide us the dates in which they were picked up and from where in our communities, or what operation produced some of these people that they are putting forth, saying, you know, they've taken off the hardened criminals off the street, because it is my understanding that many of those people were already adjudicated, already serving prison sentences, and many of them are still serving their prison sentences in many of the prisons throughout the
No, see, this is why she's a fucking retard, and she doesn't understand. Yes, these were already adjudicated guilty people that served their sentence and got fucking released back into the public, and they went and got them. That's what it means by being a fucking criminal. You don't stop being a criminal just because you got let out of jail. You're still a convicted criminal, and if you're not a citizen, you got to get the fuck out of the country. Are you that dumb? Is your IQ 1? Oh, look, Rachel Boone says she can't read. She's too retarded. Her IQ is just 1. And it dropped a point today. Yeah, not one case. The Islamic Chia Pet, Ilhan Omar. They all be angels. I do not fucking care if they committed a crime or not. Get them all out. You, as you wish. She is a foreign organized crime operative. Operative is the operative word there. Operative is the operative word. Alrighty. Wow.
State, and they're just taking their mugshots and submitting the charges of what they've been convicted of as a proof of the people that they're picking up. So I would love more accuracy.
Does all these fucking retarded Democrats not realize that your fucking local politicians are releasing them back out into the public? That's who they're picking up? Holy fuck.
Of information, as they say, they're the most transparent administration, which is the biggest lie told on American soil.
She needs to be denaturalized and deported. She fucking lied. Her fucking did immigration fraud to get her brother into the fucking country. All this other shit. Her father lied, committed fraud to get her into the fucking country. Get him the fuck out. Send him back. Go back. Yeah, definitely a card-carrying member of Densa. She's a spy. I want to see her in cuffs and treated like they used to treat traitors to our Constitution. Well, look, just last night, Omar looked straight in the camera and said, ICE hasn't been able to produce any evidence that they are finding people who are undocumented who have committed crimes. This is crazy.
Have not been able to tell us what is the purpose for this search. They haven't been able to produce any evidence that they are finding people who are undocumented, who have committed crimes. They have not been able to tell us.
Yeah. The Soros DAs are releasing them ASAP when they can't just dismiss the charges. Yeah. Yeah. And what they're doing too is like these fucking scumbag demon rats jurisdictions are trying to expunge the cases after they're convicted and say like, oh, you're an illegal alien, hurry up. We'll give you special permission to expunge and clean your record of the conviction. That way they can't deport you for it. When that's not how it works at all. That's not how it works at all. The expungement and removing things from your record applies to like private, background checks and different things like that. Not to the government. The government always knows. Mugshot is for what? Yeah. They're showing us the mugshots, but they're not saying that. What? What? She looks different head on. Yeah, she does. Her family has mixed up some deep shit. Somalians will kill her. They can't send her back. She made some kind of deal. Yeah. Been lurking. Did you see cover the judge who told ICE they got to bend over and spread in Minnesota? Yeah. Yeah, I saw some of that, but it's not really like, if you read it, Gundam Zig, it actually doesn't say shit. It's a nothing order. It doesn't actually tell them anything. It says they can't use force on peaceful protesters. Look, I know a very honest man is working hard for years. He's been here 35 years, yet he has never tried to become a citizen. I want him out. I like the man, but he's an illegal. Yeah, definitely. I miss that too. If not here to assimilate, they need to go. The Soros DAs and liberal judges are a huge problem. They are a huge fucking problem. Yeah. Look at this. Oh, ICE arrests January 14, 13 members of the world's most dangerous criminal gang in Sanctuary, Minnesota. MS-13 and PIAS members. Look at, oh. Wow. She's a pathological liar. Car attacks on ICE agents spiked more than 3,200% this year. Yeah, that's what they're doing. White liberal woman activist comes across Border Patrol chief, and this is how she talks to him and his team. She then speaks directly to us. Everyone following at home, I hope you fucking eat shit. I hope this keeps you up at night for the rest of your life. No one wants you. Oh. Look at the like count. There's zero chance over 500,000 people like this. The left use bot farms. Yeah, definitely. Bot farms.
Hey fam, I was in Minneapolis and look, we just stumbled upon Greg Bovino at a fucking Speedway for a pre-Hague photo shoot. So good for him, I guess. For those following along at home, I
want you to notice the hairline on this woman. Now, this is not an insult at all. I just want people to realize that there's a reason that women's hair starts to recede like that. It has a lot to do with hormonal imbalances, particularly from taking different medications, SSRIs and other drugs, cause this known as the crazy receding hair. All right. It's the crazy eyes and the receding hair. They start to develop male pattern baldness from the drugs they're taking because they're fucking insane. She's a poster child for emigres from the third world country. Only the rich ones with political connections get a chance. Huge forehead. It's the forehead didn't start out that way. I can guarantee it. It's the drugs that she's on doing it. Sure, you'll pay those retards attacking the cars. Out insurance that we're forced to have just went up by 50%. Oh yeah. Save Minnesota. Biden judge saying nothing. How Biden of her? Yeah, no. The order Gundam Zig is like I'll find it and I'll pull it up. But if you read it, it's like, wait, what? What are you telling them they have to do? Oh, they can't violate people's rights. Oh, they can't use tear gas on peaceful protesters. I mean, that's pretty much what it says. It's like retarded. She was stalking them, more likely just happened to line, is always a BS, yeah. Adam Schiff's twin sister, yeah.
nothing against short men, but I do just have to report back there is about a 4-inch height difference. Do you want to get closer so they can see?
Oh, no, a little higher there for you.
Still not the same. So, Greg.
Oh, so who knows? Oh, look, missing teeth. Oh, yeah. Sunken eyes. Yeah.
You're standing right there in front of me.
Look at the thinning hair. You can see the bald spot in the center starting to thin. Definite SSRIs. Definite SSRIs. Yeah, DHS is kicking ass. And at this point, save America. Her hairline is receding further than mine. It's crazy. Yeah, Will Smith will punch you. Yeah, well, you know what? He could try. I ain't Chris Rock, I'll tell you that.
But to everyone following along at home, I hope you fucking eat shit. I hope this keeps you up at night for the rest of your life.
Your face and your shrill voice and all that is going to keep me up for about, until at least maybe, I go to sleep. Ad hominem right off the bat. Yeah, always.
And no one fucking wants you here.
I want them here. Hey, chat, do you want them there? I think everybody in this chat probably wants ICE where they're at, Border Patrol doing their thing. Yeah, her hairline is retreating faster than the French. Is she mad that ICE agents are 6 foot trust fund handsome? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Did he sarcastically hop up to her height and then make a joke? Yeah. Her children would be proud if they weren't all aborted. Let's be honest. She's got no kids. Her kids were all deposited at the local Planned Parenthood. She shouldn't be deported to Smelia with them. She should be. Let's see how she likes it. Yeah, I want troops there now.
Toxic language, there's children in here in your fucking vehicle, asshole. Choke. Hey.
Wow. Yeah. Be good and tall. Yeah. What a clown. Yeah. Unless, who knows? Maybe that's a trans. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a trans. Maybe that's why the hairline's receding. ABC News is fucking disgusting. Antonio Watson killed an 84-year-old elderly man in 2021, but thanks to California law, he's about to be released for time served. ABC says that's good news for Antonio Watson's mother. She was in tears. Only in California can you kill a person and be out in 4 years while having mainstream media sympathetic towards you. This is the demon rats, folks. This is the demon rats.
The jury did not get to know her father, his age, or to even see a photo of him. It was January of 2021 when a surveillance camera caught Antoine Watson run across the street in the Anza Vista neighborhood and shove Grandpa Vicha over. He died from his injuries 2 days later in the hospital. Late today, District Attorney Brooke Jenkins sent a statement that reads in part, the jury will return on January 26 to hear arguments on aggravating factors, that is, aggravating factors in the case. Sentencing is at the discretion of the court. But our legal analyst Steve Clark tells us Antoine Watson may soon be walking out of jail on time served.
What will happen next is that Mr. Watson will be released from custody because an involuntary manslaughter only carries a possible 4-year sentence. So he's clearly done his time, and he should be released very quickly.
Very good news for Antoine Watson's mother. She was there in court today in tears. I asked her whether she would give us a comment. She said perhaps she would want to talk to her lawyer. She may speak with us in the future.
Wow. What is the doggy dreaming of? Probably of you, Hetty. Probably of you. Probably of your advanced ray electronic communication system you developed in the 1930s. Yeah, deep down, yes, I want them all out, get them all out. Glad my Texans are paying their wages. Yeah, hopefully she has no kids. I guarantee she has no kids. Deep down, her ovaries are begging for an ice truncheon. Something. Do you eat with that mouth? Yeah, I was thinking of the movie Dodgeball. I did. I know what you're talking about. What a shame she isn't hideous. She's pretty hideous though. Like, yeah, as they say that beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. She's ugly to the bone. It's not all about looks. Drink my own pee. Oh my God. Rachel Boone says, I'd love to slap one of these tars. Oops, did I say that out loud? You can kill a fuss. Oh yeah, that's crazy, right? But I guess decades of mind control will haggard you. Gundam says, nah, but you did type that in public. Hetty says, I'm lurking. And then KBT says, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, Doggy's dreaming. Wow, 4 years for attacking and killing a man. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, yeah. The number one AI-generated thung by women this week is ICE role play. They truly want a real man to handle him. Oh, wow, that's funny. The AI-generated thing. Yes. The J6 insurrection got more time. Yes, it did. He killed a man for no reason. The only release he should get is from a trapdoor. That's right. If you accidentally did that to an activist, you'd be in jail for life. Yeah. There's a guy who I know people, ain't going to like this, but I don't know. You remember that whole thing that happened at Charlottesville? Unite the Right, Charlottesville, crazy stuff. Well, that guy that was driving the car didn't hit the woman that died. He drove into the crowd, and she had a heart attack and died. He hit a car. He didn't hit anybody. He got like 6 life sentences because they said he was a Nazi, which I don't know. Maybe he was, but I don't know. But there was people on video talking about how they were chasing him with rifles when it happened. Kind of crazy. Oops again. Oops, she did it again. Sadly, my kids are drinking the Kool-Aid. MSM is effing with the younger generation. Well, can we send the crazy women dildos? Clearly, they need stress relief. Well, Fargo justice, toes first, slow. Baby, you can drive my car. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe you will be a star. 'Cause, baby, I love you. Slow speed, yes. Grinding speed. Justin, sources confirm the stolen rifle was recovered today and another suspect arrested for Wednesday's riot and destruction of federal vehicles in North Mini Somalia. Alejio Berlanda is being held at the Hennepin County Jail for felony theft. That's an interesting face and ears. Does this to me, or does it look like his ears are kind of low and pushed forward? Feds make arrests in connection with the anti-ICE riot that saw federal vehicles vandalized and looted. Yeah, here's the guy. One of the suspects, Raul Gutierrez, is reported to be a confirmed Latin Kings gang member. I wonder if it was the crown with the lion had that, and the LK. See, it says LK on his face, and the crown, the 5-pointed crown, and the 5-point stars on him and everything. And the lion. I wonder if that's a dead giveaway with the LK, that stands for Latin King, next to the crown and the lion. Huh. Is that, you think that makes him confirmed? Feds arrest the anti-ICE riot. Yeah. These are not protesters. They're violent criminals. They hate the USA. They want open borders and destruction of the U.S. Anti-ICE activists' goal isn't stopping violence, it's ending all immigration enforcement. Oompa loompa loompa-dee-doo. Black and Decker, Pecker, Wrecker, Straight, out. Rectum Wreckers. Oh, I never heard Rectum Wreckers. Zoomers are stepping up. Yeah, they are. Is he going to be white? We probably won't see. It's federal stuff, so we ain't going to see it. Doggy has a toy. Yeah, she's got a toy. Oh, I got to fix her camera. I just realized she rolled over. It's going to take some normal folks to step in before the Insurrection Act is called or the death of ICE agents. Is it going to take that? Or just the rest of Islam-controlled states to get as bad as Miss Somalia? Come on, Jim. It's just a theory. What's a theory? Yeah, Bella snuggling with her toy. Doggy's a wee bit stout. Oh, yeah, she is. She's thick. What an idiot to have that tat a record and be doing this stuff in public. Glad they caught his ass. Yeah. Cute. Thank you. You may not like it, but ICE enforcement is democracy in action. A simple but deeply unfair, manipulative narrative about ICE enforcement of immigration law congealed as soon as Trump took back office. ICE enforcement amounts to egregious military-style raids in otherwise peaceful communities, and as such, ICE is responsible for any unfortunate violence that accompanies their enforcement activities. You don't know much about dogs? Well, they're man's best friend, they say. I do honestly think all these rioters and state governments are now Islamic, and that is why we are seeing all these flags being flown instead of the American flag. That's the one thing in common. So you're saying we've already been invaded, and they're attempting to overrun us. This is like an episode of Black Hawk, or this is like Black Hawk Down or 13 Hours. But I love them. Obviously, that narrative has gone into overdrive since the unfortunate killing of Renee Good in Minneapolis. Facts don't really matter here. Anti-ICE hysterics are impervious to the fact that Good and her partner were specifically engaging in illegal activity. One can argue law enforcement should have behaved differently, but you cannot say Renee Good was an innocent bystander. She put herself in harm's way. You can't impede federal officers enforcing the law, let alone suddenly lurch toward them in a 2-ton vehicle. She hit them in the vehicle. She slammed on the gas. You're parsing words, and you're being a weak sister. However, arguing about who should have done what in this scenario to avoid her killing is almost besides the point. That's because the goal of anti-ICE activists is not to reduce violence. There's a simple way to immediately reduce the violence surrounding ICE enforcement. Have local law enforcement cooperate with ICE. Take it from a longtime DOJ prosecutor. DHS has publicly announced that if state officials would cooperate and assist them in focusing their efforts on criminal offenders, most of whom violate state law and are in state prisons, jails, DHS would not be arresting many of those they are now arresting. KBT says, I don't ever want to live without a dog or 3. I'm ashamed to ask this. I should know, not great with history, but did Hitler put Muslims in camps too, or just Jews? Did any communists treat Muslims like the Jews? Not that I know of. I mean, I know they did like the Roma in Germany. They did like, the Roma, the fucking, the gypsies, the jippos, the travelers, whatever you want to call them. And also in Soviet Russia, under Stalin and under Lenin, they put everybody in gulags basically. Your grandson has read the book Holocaust and says they did. Oh, okay. Well, fun fact that Hitler and the Grand Mufti of Palestine at the time, as they like to call it, were working together. They were Nazi supporters, the Palestinians, people, the Arabs, the Muslims. They put all kinds of non-Germanic ethnics in work camps. Ottomans were on the Axis side. That's how England got control of the Levant. Yeah. That's what I thought, Gundam, but they were questioning my memory. Muslims were recruited and had SS units. Yes. Transgender flips its lid. The short answer is no, but the real answer is that they probably would have become the next Jews because Arabs are a Semitic people too. Okay. Anyone hear about the high school stabbing in maybe Billings? I haven't. There were times I had to settle for a cat, but dogs for 20 years without a break. So I now know where he gets the idea about illegals. Yeah. Well. DHS told the states if they were forced to go into communities to hunt for individuals they were targeting, any illegal encounter while doing it would be subject to appropriate legal process, RE removal. 30 plus years ago, when I first began as a federal prosecutor, the Border Patrol would pick up 20 illegal aliens just released from state prison. The prison officials would turn them over to Border Patrol at the gates of the prison. They would go into federal custody, and they would be put through the deportation process. No release back into the community. Blue states and cities refuse to do this now. They refuse to notify ICE of pending releases of state and local prisoners who are illegal alien criminals. They force DHS into the choice of doing nothing or doing what they're doing now. So who is at fault? Yeah. Who is at fault? And here, a former FBI agent and cop saying the same thing. Exactly 30 plus years ago, when I was a police officer in Northern Virginia with a heavily Central American population, we routinely arrested illegal aliens for DUI, assault, domestic assault, and other sometimes serious crimes. At booking, we notified INS, and a van showed up at the jail the next morning to take them into custody. End of story. No protests from deranged boomers, more interested in protecting illegal criminals than their own community. Dogs are so smart. Someone mentioned that last night, but I haven't seen any reports on it. But the person said they aren't releasing the name of the perp or the gender. Oh, are you talking? Okay, I think I did hear about the story. It was a trans student that stabbed a teacher in Billings. I believe so. But I don't have more on the story than a blurb. Today, the same police department refuses to cooperate with ICE on even serious felons taken into custody. It's insane. Notably, we're not really seeing many ugly situations like what happened in Minneapolis and red states because the police and authorities there have been directed to cooperate. So Democrats have a simple choice before them. They can choose to direct local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE, or they can choose to make their own communities more dangerous. There's no serious argument that they're opposing ICE because they care about public safety. Immigration enforcement is a matter of public safety, and yet Northern Virginia police departments are releasing child sex offenders into the community rather than honoring ICE federal immigration detainers. Is the argument that having ICE agents in the community is more dangerous than letting sex offenders roam the streets? Because that is, in fact, insane. The only way to square the circle is to realize that a large number of communities and states in this country are simply trying to nullify federal immigration law. Some of this sentiment is out of concern for vulnerable communities, but to a significant extent, the opposition to federal enforcement is for unprincipled reasons. The massive amount of Somali fraud in Minneapolis has certainly revealed how beholden state and local politicians there are to a particular voting bloc. And at the federal level, blue states have gained power and congressional seats as a result of welcoming illegal aliens who get counted in census results. The opposition to illegal immigration is just much more coordinated than we know. As there are a number of organizations out there dispensing really bad advice, encouraging confrontation. That's worded wrong. The opposition to illegal immigration is likely... No. It's the opposition to enforcement of immigration law is likely much more coordinated than we know. There are likely a number of organizations out there dispensing really bad advice, encouraging confrontation of ICE agents because they want a micro intifada. When you're borrowing language from terrorist groups such as Hamas to support your cause, don't expect to be portrayed as the good guys. But a lot of the ground level activists don't need much prodding. They have been convinced themselves that confronting ICE is a righteous cause that adds meaning to their otherwise ordinary, boring lives. Regardless, I thought insurrection was a bad thing, as is trying to overturn the results of an election. According to Gallup, Joe Biden's encouragement of mass illegal immigration was the most cited reason for his low approval rating. Trump won the popular vote by promising tough immigration enforcement loudly and often. And ICE is merely enforcing existing democratically elected laws. You don't have a right to keep the federal government from enforcing federal laws, and it is within the power of local and state governments to make enforcing immigration law less contentious and violent. I love Schadenfreude over releasing criminals in Northern Virginia. They might fuck up some of the idiots who voted for it. Good if it happens. You know, you reap what you sow. You voted for it. Get it. Dogs require affection, attention, and walks. Cats demand you change their litter, otherwise stand by until needed. Like telling the retards ICE uses rubber bullets and they don't kill. Yeah, maybe more of these retards will test that. Lol, my cats are trained to do business outside. I've known people, yeah, there's cats that train to do that. I know people that train their cats to use the toilet. Like, legitimately, they set up a thing on the toilet seat, the cat jumps up there and goes after so long, and then eventually they just remove it, and the cat just then poops in the toilet. Like, I think that's awesome that you could train a cat to do that. To borrow a popular slogan on the left, you may not like it, but ICE enforcement is what democracy looks like. ICE enforcement is what democracy looks like. Oh, look at this. The illegal alien fat cat, JB Fat Slob Prickster, is referring to drove his car at law enforcement officers and hit an ICE agent, but Prickster says he did nothing wrong. Oh, the tard with the busted eye is a girl troon. Dum-dum. Double dumb. Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that got shot with the pepper ball or whatever, and it must have hit the megaphone and broke a piece of the megaphone off to hit him. Yeah, sounds like an Obama slogan. Yes, they can. Yeah, here's Fat Slob Prickster, another one that needs to get arrested.
Importantly, because I know people are now paying attention to it in Minnesota, but someone was killed here in Illinois. Silverio Villegas Gonzalez killed, and he was just taking his kids, just had dropped them off at daycare. And they killed him. And he had done nothing wrong. And they said, they lied about it in the aftermath of that. And as they have about the killing in Minnesota.
Prickster has zero speech and debate clause immunity like any, Congress people can get away with. So any of the ICE agents that are involved in that incident that this happened should sue him for defamation and slander, PTSD, just like Alex Jones was sued by the FBI agent who got millions and millions of dollars because he said Alex Jones made him give him PTSD from what Alex Jones said. So needs to happen to Prickster. Fat Slob Prickster needs to get sued for like $100 million, $200 million. And yes, Jim, they're invading and seem to be winning, and I'm sick of it. Well, me too. Here's Tricia says there's a very simple solution here. They should let us into jails, let us take the murderers and rapists and pedophiles out.
There's a very simple solution here. Tim Walz and Mayor Frey should let us into their jails. Those 1,400 individuals, those criminal illegal aliens who have already had their due process, let us in those jails. Let us take those murderers, those rapists, those child pedophiles out. That would simply solve the solution. Work with state and local law enforcement. That is what we're asking. Down in Florida, there's been 40,000 arrests of criminal illegal aliens. We've seen peace. We've seen public safety. That's what we should be seeing across the nation. There's a very simple solution.
That's right. We're not interested in peace. Fascism has arrived. Operation Inflation, the far-left group that takes donations to buy costumes to make violent Antifa and far-left rioting look like a children's event on camera, has released a video urging violence. The costumes have been a darling of the liberal media trying to downplay the violence and extremism. The costuming was started by Seth Todd, a violent Portland Antifa rioter who described himself as a terrorist. Under his alias, he urged for killings of his political targets.
We have noticed a select few using the inflatable costumes to denote a message of peaceful and joyful resistance. We, however, are not interested in peace. This is not the time for peace. That is not an option on the table. Fascism has arrived. The state is building concentration camps. Trump's secret police are engaged in explicit ethnic cleansing. Do not confuse our adorable form with passivity. We are uncomfortably aware that there is no comfortable way out from here. You see, Operation Inflation is about one thing: disorienting fascist control of the narrative landscape. We are not responding to violence with nonviolence. We are not responding to excessive force with whimsy. We are responding to fascism with anti-fascism. Fascism requires a constant reduction of social phenomena, for their loyalists are incredibly gullible, emotional, resentful, and stupid. Every complex nuance of social political life must be reduced to snapshots and disarming talking points. Eruptions of social unrest and public refusal become riots. The riot becomes dichotomous, and you're assigned a role: violent rioter or peaceful protester. Then the naive carry forth and proclaim, the fascists want you to be timid and peaceful, or the fascists want you to be violent and reactive. Little do they realize the fascists require both. The fascists want you predictable, you see. Predictability is legibility. Legibility is capture. The moment your action becomes narratable within their fiction, you've already lost. You're performing your assigned role in their script, whether radical left terrorist or cringe whiny libtard. This is not about pacifism. This is not about proving protesters are good or peaceful to win sympathy. An inflatable costume engaging in property destruction is absurd. A wall of cartoon animals impeding an ICE vehicle is absurd. Inflatables could storm the Capitol and the fascist fiction still collapses. It still refuses the script all the same. The power isn't in moral contrast. It's in categorical refusal. The form itself denies the narrative. Absurdity doesn't seek legitimacy within their framework. It renders the framework itself absurd. This disorientation works directly in our favor by disrupting the narrative the fascist requires. We're using the attention economy they weaponized against us. We're creating cognitive dissonance in those immersed in their fiction. And while the regime scrambles to fold cartoon animals into their narrative of the enemy within, we build real infrastructure for resistance. We will not let the fascists win. We will not let them take our humanity. We will see you on the front lines, comrade.
Comrade. Oh, okay. So they're communists. They're all communists. Yeah. Sign them up. Yeah. My boss poster boy. Ah, yes, Jim. They didn't seem winning. I'm sick of it. Dude's not a judge. Yeah. Okay. Can't spell prickster without prick. Hey, due process my ass. Jim's on a 3-hour tour. Hello, folks. What's up, Potato Biden? Great to see you. Hey, Potato. Pesky citizens here. All the media is just a psyop to keep everyone fighting. Yeah. Furries and fluffies, powers combined. So they aren't furries. What do we call them? Communists. The only good communist is a communist. Yes. Thank God, no new kings, only some dinosaurs, unicorns, and frogs, and tons of furries. Yeah. What the hell is this? AI, God, slop, Gotham. 3-hour tour. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted territory. Yes. We'll sit right back when you hear the tale of a fateful trip. Operation Inflation. Their kryptonite is a nail. Do they know that they are doing Islam's bidding? Are they really stupid to realize it? Well, there's an unholy alliance of communism and Islamists. Islamicams. The commislams, I call them. If these people want to dress like animals, we should treat them like rabid animals they are. Yes. Just when I think we've seen rock bottom, they pull us even further down into the gutter. Yeah, it's no, it's not. Yeah, no shit, psychological disorder. WJM and Happy Chat, a lot of MAGA folks. Yes. Inflator fan is their Achilles heel. Yes. Radical socialist, fascist, communist accusing you of being the radical. Yes, it is. It's crazy. Islam arm seems just more prevalent right now. Finish it. Yeah. Can we poke them with a Vax needle? And doggy too. They are appropriating Pepe the Frog. Yeah, they're trying to steal Pepe back. That's right, Jim. Yeah. What's up, Mama Pillow? Great to see ya. Yeah, Granola, you too. I don't think I said hi to you tonight. Diamond G, did I say hi to you? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I know I said hi to Pesky Citizen, Mama Pillow, Potato Biden. You're all doing great. Search NATO PSYOPs PDF. Oh. Commies? Ugh. Yeah, commies. Frontlines. That sounds like my Minnesota leaders. Yes. Yeah, people trying to associate Pepe the Frog with everything on the left. It says HSI is zeroing in on rampant fraud. Despite violent riots, our agents and officers are on the ground in mini Somalia conducting investigations into massive theft of American tax dollars. We are not slowing down. DHS will continue to push for the truth and hold fraudsters accountable. Wow, look at all the money. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. $1,000 at least. 12.5. That's some kind of other money. I have no idea what that is. Look at this. Oh, Anthony Kumi says, beautiful. Cell phone footage from Minneapolis appears to show a federal border patrol agent kneeing a man in the face multiple times. Oh, well, this sounds like a feel-good story. Sounds like a feel-good story of the evening here.
Oh, stop. Jesus. Hey. Stop kneeing him in the face! That's his face! Stop it!
Would you like us to knee you in the face? Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. We'll knee you in the face. Come closer. Fundraising for the ICE agent Jonathan Ross has surpassed $1 million after leftist activists rammed him with his car in Minneapolis. That's awesome. FYI, breaking the law, federal or state, is a policing matter that is addressed and corrected by law enforcement. Arresting illegal aliens for the purpose of deportation is law enforcement. Arresting protesters who actively obstruct or interfere with that effort is law enforcement. But opposing the enforcement of laws by the sovereign government, as the executive and all his subordinates are obligated to do, to see that laws are faithfully executed is done through force, is sedition and insurrection. Talking to you, Minnesota. Yeah. Wow, look at this. Congressional demon rats. That agent isn't legally allowed to keep that money. I think it's for his family. And yes, I see you too. They're all prostitutes, Jim. I know I don't know what's on my mind tonight. Congressional demon rats are doubling down on shutting down the government if ICE isn't defunded. Oh, so they want to shut down ICE. Hold the line. Yeah. Nuke the filibuster. This all goes away.
Left captures most of the attention. Progressives are preaching their battle cry of abolish or defund ICE. That could sidetrack Democrats from connecting with voters about affordability ahead of the midterms.
We don't have the power. If Republicans want to continue the funding, they need to provide the votes for that without accountability.
Now, the House releases text of the DHS funding bill this weekend. The House could vote on the bill next week. Progressives are aiming to cancel money for ICE. Democrats also believe that President Trump is rattling sabers about Iran and Greenland to distract from kitchen table issues.
I don't think that Virginians or Americans are fooled and distracted about these core issues. I think they're wondering why President Trump is sort of putting Americans last.
Oh!
Now, Republicans are worried that so much talk about Venezuela, Greenland, and Iran hinders their side from talking about affordability ahead of the midterm elections.
I think we're making a mistake by shifting away. If you win elections...
Oh, what do you know? Tom Tillis, Rhino scumbag.
But he's now talking about this other...
Tom Tillis is currently holding up all appointments to the DHS because of that shooting of Renee Good in Minnesota. He's a scumbag piece of shit who's not running for re-election because he couldn't fucking win because he's a scumbag. Did Jim already go over Trump's tweets and comments today? I was an hour late. I think I went over them. I think I did. I thought I did. Maybe if there was some I missed. Maybe legally change the filibuster where there's a time limit and specific guidelines. Maybe not completely nuke it. Well, if they just actually enforced it the way it's supposed to be, like they shouldn't be able to filibuster without speaking. Someone has to be there speaking constantly. You have to go back and watch. Okay. Oh, it must have got below 72 in my house. My heater just kicked on. I could smell it. In Florida, you have these heaters that basically is like a giant hair dryer with these coils, like a coil thing. So when it kicks on, you can smell like dust and stuff burning, basically. When Kane ran with Hillary, he wouldn't call himself Hillary's right-hand man. He said person pussy. Oh, my God. Wow. I wonder why having legacy media cameras and politicians working symbolic to manipulate us. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Haven't seen any, but I missed some show while driving. I thought I did pull some stuff in the beginning. Wow. This is crazy. ICE agents in Minneapolis have spent 2 whole minutes driving in circles in a roundabout, forcing left activists to follow them while blasting ice cream truck music through their loudspeakers. Why does it sound like they're loading magazines? I can barely hear the ice cream music. I can turn it up a little. Anyway, so there's that. And then the mayor and governor insist ICE isn't making Minnesota safer and should leave. Their departure would be excellent news for convicted felon illegal immigrants walking free in these communities. The roster of those captures during the surge keeps growing. Yeah, we saw this earlier, this list of all the people they were arresting. The Constitution is clear. Congress writes immigration law. President Trump must enforce it. Governors and mayors can't obstruct federal agents. That's a serious federal crime. Tim Walz and Jacob Frey must back down. We saw this earlier. Actually, we saw this. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. State and local officials don't get a pass because they have political constituents who are playing to the active opposition to enforcement of federal laws. If I heard it once, I've heard it a dozen times in J6 cases. Yes, you have First Amendment rights, but that doesn't mean your words cannot be used as evidence of your intent in committing some kind of crimes. Driving in circles. What is this? Yeah, got to be ready for attacks, Jim. Yeah, definitely. Any more talk about the insurrection declaration? Trump said today that he wasn't ready, that he doesn't think he needs to do it yet. So, I don't know. ICE agent was playing ice cream music and kept followers going in a circle. We live in the best timeline. It just kept going around and round and round and round and round. Round and round and round and round and round. Round and round and round and round. Round and round and round and round. Round, round, round. Round and round, what comes around goes around. You tell you why. Yeah. If you're exhorting others to engage in overt criminal conduct, you might be walking yourself into a conspiracy. It only takes one overt act by any conspirator. It is not necessary for every conspirator to commit their own overt act. Walz and Frey might have flown a little bit too close to the sun. Yeah. Oh, like Jen McCabe's ice cream truck. If you know, you know. That's right. There was a guy here in Atlanta that was arrested for calling a security guard, Social Security, the N-word. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that story. They charged him with disorderly conduct. The fight over the internal communications within the Minnesota state government will be fun to watch. If only it wasn't so cold in Minnesota, you might go there if it wasn't so cold. The video was pretty funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a white guy. Yeah. Icarus. Yeah. A black man in Chicago walked up behind a stranger and beat him with a metal pipe, fracturing his face and jaw and knocking out his teeth. He is given probation and won't serve any jail time. The same man has been arrested 57 times. 57 times. He's like Heinz. He's been arrested, Heinz. 57 sauce. 57 times with decades of violent crimes and drug charges. Hello.
Chicago just proved again how broken the system is. This is Pierre Thorne. He was just arrested for the 57th time. His latest crime was a random pipe attack that left an innocent victim with a severe facial fracture and missing teeth. And after decades of serious arrests for drugs, violent crimes, and a clear pattern of escalating violence, he didn't get serious time. He got probation through a plea deal. Let that sink in. Illinois knows that this is a major problem. State data shows over a third of released inmates reoffend within 3 years. It's taxpayers who pay the price financially and with their safety. How many chances does one person get before the system admits that it failed? Chicago just proved again how broken the system is. This is Pierre Thorne. He was just arrested for the 57th time. His latest crime was a random pipe attack that left an innocent victim.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that nuts? It's official. Mayor Fran Tim Walz are under federal investigation by the DOJ for conspiracy. Yes. Meet Brandon White, employee at the United States Postal Service in Illinois. He posted multiple videos shooting ICE agents. Our tax dollars pay his salaries. I hope he got raided. They knew. Jesse Waters, is it clear that politicians were clueless? Dick Shirley, they obviously knew because they enabled it to happen for so long. Wow.
And is it clear that the politicians were clueless? I mean, how could they have not known about this?
Well, they obviously knew because they've enabled it to happen for so long. I mean, for instance, Quality Learning Center, it had over 90 violations, yet they kept giving that daycare millions of dollars. And these transportation companies, I mean, if anyone in Minnesota is watching this right now, they know what I'm talking about because you drive around Minneapolis and you'll see nobody inside of these transportation vehicles.
I mean, without giving away your logistics, what's next?
Well, I think there's a lot more fraud to be exposed across the country, and there might even be more fraud exposed inside Minnesota. There's a lot of fraud, and the fraud is very, very, very deep in Minnesota.
Well, it looks like the taxpayers love it, and we love it. Keep up the great work. You're doing better work than the New York Times. So stay safe, Nick.
Stay safe, Nick. Stay safe. Stay safe, Nick. That's what I say. Stay safe. You're going to leer today, son. Yeah. Quality leering setting. Love the hoodie. Yeah. Now, my nephew wants a PBJ, so I'll be right back. Okay. He found a Q. Yeah. You're going to leer today. Yeah. I'd say offer these retards all of California, but on an oath between us and them, we still aren't safe. An ocean, a wall, and lots of hungry sharks and mines. Lots of mines. Yes. 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 Lots of mines. Yes. You could order this shirt right there from Veristyle. Quality Leering Center, 1-800-FRAUD. 26-year fraud scam in Minnesota. Nick Shirley, an investigation finds Minnesota healthcare company called Advanced Mobility Incorporated has been getting money from taxpayer for 26 years. 26 years getting taxpayer money. Wow.
So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advanced Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
And so we're going to go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833. Boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're gonna see if we can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224?
I don't think you guys are allowed to record it.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility. Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
We don't care about
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the fuck out here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now they're pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out, get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where advanced mobility is?
Nope, go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So advanced mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick Shirley,
I
sir.
don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is from the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here. Stop here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they should call ICE to evict them from Little Somalia. Yeah. They were nice until they told him who he was. Yeah. Get out of the building now, soon, or get out of this land. Yeah, that's what should happen. Money transfer shithole bazaar. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what's going on. They're sending all the money around. We have an advanced mobility somewhere near us. See the commercials often. Those fuckers had me at 88 miles per hour after my colonoscopy one time. Okay, I don't know. They got paid mercs now. Yeah, just an honest clerical mistake, I'm sure. Definitely. All right, everybody. We've been going over 3.5 hours. We put in the extra hour, but unfortunately, we did not make the goal for the second hour. So I believe that's going to be it for this evening. I want to thank everybody who was here and remind you all to, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to send you over to see this guy, Chris Bolsano, who you guys have seen in the chat. His thing is Subdivisions. He's singing at karaoke right now. So if you go over there, you can have him sing. Go over there, Audra, and have him sing you happy birthday. Tell him it's your birthday. Tell Chris Jim sent you to sing happy birthday to you. He's got an excellent voice, and he sings all types of songs. He sounds just like the real people doing it. You wouldn't even be sure. It sounds like the real people. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Good night. Come on back for Jim to tell you the news.